team. We're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I come this way before, travel through the open door. Circumstances navigate the path, and life happened all so fast. No, it got lonely sometimes. You see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games get played, can't take it personal, cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. It's fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. With much expected, much is given. Wanna make the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let us make it real. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it to life. Oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm aces. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition, I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lack it. Or cancer slowing our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah.
Give back, give love, give insight to the way. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a fight for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Can't get played, can't take it personal, cause the devil is a lie. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey.
Dun, 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 dun. Woo-hoo. Love is the word. DB's out sick tonight. What's up? Oh, I forgot to put the link. I'll put it in a second. Moyo Sauce, Javi, G Brown, Mr. Blue, M Square, Willie. What up, Willie? Picasso, DJ Deem, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the gift, man. Thank you. Rico Shaw, KJ, Xavier Moses, Motivated Sellers, Picasso, Terry Smoot, 2 and it just jumped on me. INO Boxing, Roscoe, Motivated, Xavier Moses, the truth, man. And I appreciate everybody coming in here tonight. Thank you, man. We got a couple of guests, man. We're gonna rock out tonight. We got a good show tonight. We got Tyran Brown coming in, and BlueBlood say he gonna jump in. So whenever you see both shows lit up, that means we gonna have a guest coming in. Yeah, I'm cooking tonight. Yeah, the grill is definitely on, man. And I'm just gonna answer the question why y'all say why you don't like Al. I'm gonna tell y'all niggas why tonight. You know what I mean? And it's he got all these fighters believing that he's great for their career, but you got to show me. You got to show me. And he's pro-black. Nigga ain't pro-black. You know what I mean? And I just think the fighters need to hear the truth from a person that's not paying them or don't give a damn about how much money they make, whether they come in the barbershop or not. Nigga don't care. You know what I mean? Nigga does not care. So I'm probably all the PBC fighters gonna say, "Oh, you can't go there," and this just validates my point because they wouldn't do it to ESPN, and that's why I'm here to tell y'all that don't believe the smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Because Fred knows the truth. So, anyways, man, where we at with this, man? Tyran Brown's gonna come in at 9:10, so I'll wait till the room fill up in. So, um, um, and I'm anxious for you guys to disagree with me because, you know, check the facts. You know what I mean? So, where we at with this? I figured I'll filibust till Tyran Brown get in here. But yeah, make sure you guys click the link in the bio, man. Go support Nine Wives. Incredible film. Fantastic film, if I might say so myself. I think I had something to do with it. Click the link. You know what I mean? And we'll go from there. And but Tyran Brown, he definitely disagrees with me on this. So I'm real excited to hear we got. He's coming in at 9:10. And I see Jordan disagrees, and here we go. Yeah, this is good because me and Tyran Brown are real honest with each other. So and he knows me very well. So it'll be a great conversation for you guys to partake in. And BlueBlood is gonna come in. I'm not sure what time he's coming in, but he's more than welcome to come in anytime. And then we'll just open up the phone lines and powwow for a minute. You know what I mean? We'll get out of here at 11 as we've been doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, so as about the fight, I thought Ugas won at least 9 rounds. I thought he was in control of the fight. I thought he was mentally in control of the fight, physically in control of the fight. I thought much of what Pacquiao did, I think much of what Pacquiao did was in response to what Ugas did. You know what I mean? I stand on that he had an arm injury, but it's a difference between injuring your arm in a fight and injuring your arm pre-fight because you can take those cortisone shots, you know what I mean, or whatever they allow you to take, you know, the cortisone, Novocaine, I don't know, but it's definitely cortisone, you know, and he probably felt no pain that entire fight, you know. So that video I posted was from Wednesday, Thursday, one of his last workouts as it pertains. So I know he was injured, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm happy for Ugas, has a great story. And I'll say this, man, that 115, 113 judge, I think that was the mole. You know what I mean? I thought he won 9 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever. I thought it was at least 8-4, and 116, 112 is about 8-4, at least 8-4. You know, I mean, the only round I thought that was really in question was round 1. You know, Pacquiao was on the outside trying to figure it out. He couldn't figure it out. His mind was telling him to do something, but his body wouldn't respond. You know what I mean? He had that fake aggression, you know, kind of like that girl in a fight, you know what I mean? Like right that throws off rally punches, but it was very few and far in between. You know, I was trying to remember if he had 10 moments in the fight, you know, and I didn't see. I thought Ugas was masterful, you know. Pacquiao threw 800 punches. I would say only 100 of them landed, if any, you know. And he never was okay. I got you. Okay, got you, BlueBlood. And he never was in charge. You understand? Like he never led the fight. He never had Ugas like, damn, I'm confused. You know, it is a fight. He's gonna get hit, but I thought Ugas was in control. You know, and I genuinely believe that. Ugas is gonna fight Thurman, and then Al is gonna tell Thurman and Spence to fight, and maybe we'll get that fight next summer. You know, contingent upon when Errol gets back. You know, and because he got to protect his brand, it's a business, so he can't have Ugas sit out and wait. And potentially Errol needs 12 months, 6 months, 18 months. You know, it depends. So he's gonna fight Thurman, and he knows that that's his money fight on his side of the street. Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, as I've been saying for a year, that fight is probably gonna happen. So he can't waste Thurman. You can't waste an asset when you're running a business. And that conversation he has with Earl will be the conversation he has with Earl. But it's a hell of a fight. It's a hell of a fight. Both of them are highly intelligent. Whew, that's a great fight, man. That's a great fight. I think that's a Vegas fight. I think it's a splendid fight. It's a fighters deluxe fight. Keith Thurman can fight off his back foot and move. Ugas can fight off his back foot. It's just who's going to win those mesh points. In that mid-level area, kind of like that mid-range jump shots you got in basketball, kind of like that mid-range in boxing. Like, who will win that? It's just it's a hell of a fight. It's a hell of a fight, and I'll be excited to see it. I'll definitely be excited to see it, and I like it. I thought Pacquiao is still competitive because he's a God gifted. He's a freak of nature. He's a freak of nature. He is a freak of nature. So I think he'll be competitive, kind of like Michael Jordan with the Washington Wizards. Michael Jordan can average 18 points in the NBA until he was like 38, 39, maybe 40, because he just has the IQ. And I think Manny Pacquiao will always be competitive. But he doesn't have that oomph, that to push through. He even has. I saw it last night. He even was hesitant to throw his left hand. He was throwing his left hand to a lot of times. I should say a lot of times, many times, to reposition himself in the ring. He wasn't really throwing it for like to make an impression on Ugas. He was throwing it because he's like, oh shit, this motherfucker about to come get me. So it's but I'm happy for Ugas, man. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it, man. He doing that 50-50 dance somewhere in Vegas right now, and it's good for him. It's a great story. I do believe he's sick of some shorts. He didn't have no eyebrows yesterday. I don't know. It's something weird. I don't know. It's something different about him. He looked like Chris Villanueva. You know what I mean? He kind of looked like him, or 50 Cent when he played that guy with cancer. I didn't see the movie, but he looks like a cross between those two. You know what I'm saying? And it was I mean, I think Pacquiao alopecia. Yeah, he did lose his hair like me, but I don't have alopecia. I just can't grow hair. He has alopecia. Okay, yeah, he may have that because he don't have his hair. Wow, y'all picking. Wow, y'all picking. A lot of y'all are picking Ugas, but a lot of y'all are caught in the moment because Ugas just fought. But I think that's a very close fight, especially with Thurman coming off a 2.5-year layoff. It's so yeah, I think, in my greatest opinion, I think Earl would have had a more impressionable fight last night. I obviously believe he would have won last night. Would he have stopped Manny Pacquiao? I don't know. That's a tough question because Manny Pacquiao's 42. Manny Pacquiao's 42, and he knows how to survive, and he's a crafty fighter. He can use the entire ring, But I think Earl would have won in a more I would say Earl would have won in a more convincing fashion. Earl is not a one-punch knockout guy. So I maybe Manny Pacquiao would have found a way to survive, but I think Earl would have dominated him. I think rounds 9 through 12 may have been some of the worst rounds of Manny. I would say that pressure that Errol Spence would have put on Manny Pacquiao in the last 3 to 4 rounds would have been something that Errol Spence would, I mean, Manny Pacquiao would have been, oh, I don't want to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's kind of like that guy in basketball that guards you full court. You know, that annoying motherfucker. He is as athletic as you. He's probably 2 or 3. Well, everybody's always 2 or 3 inches taller than me in basketball, but you know, and your teammate won't pass you the ball when you want it. You know what I mean? Because when I played basketball, I was the guy that can just break people down and do what I wanted to do with the ball. And Tyran Brown is in the building. You good, TB? I can't hear you, but just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. And you good? Okay. Well, fuck my basketball stories, man. Let's just jump into Tyran Brown. I'm pretty sure he got some basketball stories too. What's up, man?
What up? What up? What up?
Oh man, you chilling at the crib, huh?
Yeah, man, at the crib, look, going over tomorrow's plays with these stocks, you know.
Oh, congratulations on your stock plays, man. We representing the community, man. We got Bloods and Crip unity in here, man. And
Whoa.
but yeah, man. Congratulations on your stock. Hey, for those of you who don't know, before he goes in and tears me a new asshole, you guys need to go follow Tyran Brown on Instagram because he does daily stock options, and I think you guys should take advantage because he's made a great deal of money this past year. And
I mean, I ain't on no Fred Hawthorne, you know.
Nah. Oh, when is
I don't got my kids producing movies and shit.
You know, that was just a power move that had to happen. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And first of all, what'd you think of the fight? Before you get on me for going in on PBC.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I was lethargic with the fight. I've been lethargic with boxing this whole boxing, bro. This year just
I'm over it.
Yeah. You know, I can't. I'm not gonna lie, man. And I like Ugas. Like, you know, I remember you said you thought Sean Porter beat him. I thought he beat Sean Porter. I definitely thought he dropped Sean Porter. And
no, when I rewatched it, I thought Ugas won. When I was alive.
Okay, I ain't talked. Okay, I ain't talked. Oh yeah, because you were there.
I was there.
You were at the fight. Yeah. Okay, I got.
And that was a knockdown. It was a knockdown. Yeah.
So you know, and then even the way Sean Porter acted after the fight, talking about it's crazy. Sean Porter cried for a Thurman rematch. Sean Porter cried for a Spence rematch, but then he didn't want to give Ugas the rematch, acting like he just big timing Ugas, you know. And so I liked when Ugas ended up being a champion after Sean Porter lost his championship. I like that for Ugas, but you know, the fact that he got to go out there and actually win it and you know, get that win last night, like that was dope. But I just couldn't help as I was watching. I didn't even watch the fight live. I wasn't even that interested. But when I was watching it back, I was just like, man, this was supposed to be Earl's night. Like I know you was gonna be in Vegas.
Yeah,
I was gonna be in Vegas. Like, you feel me? Like, we were supposed to watch the passing of the tide. We were supposed to watch Earl overcome the accident. So it was just such a letdown. And you know, but the way, you know, Ugas is a safe fighter. He only got like 9 knockouts. So I wasn't expecting a knockout, but I couldn't help to say, if Ugas is doing this and Pacquiao slowing down like this, Earl would have just ran through him and knocked him out, and that would have been a poetic way to pass the torch.
Right. No. True as words spoken. I had that feeling the whole time I was watching the fight. You know, I was like, damn, man, I wish Errol Spence could have had this moment. You know, and but you know, it is what it is. Ugas is gonna fight Keith Thurman. It looks like. You know what I mean? And,
that's for sure.
No, but that's the play though. That's the play though. I mean, you can't wait for Earl. You get what I'm saying? Like, business still has to go on, you know. So hopefully it is a 3-month injury or a 5-month injury, and maybe there's a mesh point where Earl could step in and fight. But if not, you got to give Keith Thurman that shot, because the biggest fight that he can make, Al, is Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence.
Yeah, for sure, man. I gotta be honest with you, bro. I wanna, you know, I rock with Earl, man. I got a lot of love for Earl. You saw how goddamn nervous I was when Danny Garcia just barely got off the hit.
Oh yeah, we watched that. We watched that fight. Was that the fight we watched together?
Yeah, at
Errol
the
Spence,
boy
yeah,
crib.
okay, gotcha, yeah, okay.
You know, but it's just I don't know if it's just the way boxing been going this year. I wanna believe that he really fucked up his eye and shit like that. But it's just been like boxing just got my nerves in such a
Antennas up.
crazy place. You know,
Mhm.
it's just so crazy. Like, you know, even just the fact that he happened to get the eye injury at the same time that Ugas opponent gets hurt. You feel me?
Yeah.
Oh no, man. Tiafimo got COVID out the blue, and we
Yeah.
ain't heard from him since.
Uh-huh.
You know, boxing is crazy, man. But you know, I don't want to sleep on the fact, you know, eye injury is serious.
Mhm,
So I don't
mhm.
want to sleep on that fact. But and it's just so crazy, you know, and you could backtrack it to on your channel, um, because after Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia, and Errol Spence was like drunk at that fight, and I think you even gave him an interview. He was like 1995, blah blah
I was
blah.
trying to help him. I was literally
Yeah,
trying to help because I knew what was going on. I was like, no, Earl, no, 2008 or
yeah.
2012 or something,
Well,
the
yeah.
Olympics. Yeah. Mhm.
I called you on your YouTube. It's probably still up, and I voiced my concern with Earl back then. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, yo, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. He getting drunk. He kicking it with Broner. He big between fights. All kicking it with Yellow Bees and shit. And it's like, so I even I ain't gonna go there, but you know, so I just saw it trending in a way I didn't like. Then the accident happens, and you know, we know what state he was in with the accident. And so with all that, it's like I want to really believe it's just a freak eye injury, but you know, my intuition is telling me, man, it could be something fishy. I hope I'm wrong.
Oh, you think his body's failing him? But before you answer that, Mark West, the boxing guards, saved Pac from Spence. I mean, he
Hey, that's
saved.
facts though. Like I was thinking that too. I
Uh-huh.
was like, man, Pat gave so much to the game, cause I felt like Spence knockout of Pacquiao, it wasn't gonna be like Marquez. Like, you know, when you get caught like that, like Pacquiao was winning that fight. When you get caught like that, it's like it's not a flash, but it's just like a crazy knockout that catch you off guard. But
Right, right, right.
I feel like Earl was gonna pummel,
Mhm.
like beat the fight out of Pacquiao, and honestly, Pacquiao gave enough to the game. All the speculation and all that to the side, Pacquiao gave a lot to the game where he didn't have to go out like that.
No, and yeah, it would have been. He would have been squealing in that ring last night
Yeah,
if Earl would have got there. But you said something. So you think Earl's body is giving out on him on some level? Or
I don't, man. It's just even like I don't know if it's necessarily his body or his just even in the last couple of years as he's done interviews, it's just a little bit of lethargic energy I just feel from even he like, man, I'm tired of 147, like blah blah blah. You like I can't unhear those things on my mind
Mhm,
when these reports come out. You know what I mean? And like
mhm,
I said, I'm not knocking Earl. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I
mhm.
can't lie to what my intuition tell me.
Yeah, he did say in, was it my interview or was it not Drink Champs, but he said he got complacent a little bit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And he said that he's more inspired now. He said he was 75-80% against Danny Garcia,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
said
yeah.
he was definitely ready for Manny Pacquiao.
And I will say, like as far as looking good in between fights, like he was looking. This is it took me back to earlier in his career. Like he kept
Right,
himself
right.
pretty down. You know what I
I was
mean? So
no, I was real happy for that. I was T Bonafide. Shout out to the barbershop. Spence with a body pack for sure, for sure.
definitely,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think that he's recommitted himself, because it's hard to stay 10 to 15 pounds above your fighting weight and keep your physique, so that means he was still training. You understand what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I could definitely tell that, especially in the I could actually tell that both Pacquiao and Spence were taking this fight serious, because when they did the
Facts.
press conference, you can see they shoulder line and no
Yeah.
stomach, how the suit just goes straight down on them and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was damn near looking like a fight week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. So that's my impression, because I'm going back to how I felt listening to him when he came on the show.
Yeah.
And I would say, from your perspective, that's a fair assessment. And from what I hear now, I would think that he's more committed, definitely more committed to the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? And I just wish we could have saw that last night, and then
Right.
you would have came in today like, yes, he's back, he's
Yeah,
back,
you feel
he's
me?
back. You know? Yeah. I totally get that.
And like I said, I will recognize in myself. I've just been so disappointed with boxing in the last 10 months. You know, so everything's probably a conspiracy to me now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm over it, man. I told myself I'm not paying for another fight,
bro. Look,
I
don't mean to cut you off, but y'all gotta know, me and Fred been busting our ass running these goddamn miles and shit every day for the Wilder fight, and then the Wilder fight get canceled. Then I'm like, all right, then me personally, I was supposed to spar my trainer at the beginning of this month. That didn't happen, so I'm like, all right, fuck it. Me and Fred, we about to be right in Vegas. We're gonna be partying up in Vegas for this Spence fight, and then that got shut down. So I'm like, shit.
And that's a whole nother thing too, because I'm emotionally tied to both fighters as it pertains to wanting success for them, that being Spence and Wilder. So it was a huge letdown for me. And then you look back, and then that's culminated by all the other BS that's in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And so I was over it, man. I have no desire to go to a fight. And how that kid got robbed 2 weeks ago. Did you see how that kid got robbed?
Yeah, Fox. Alantez Fox brother. Yeah.
Whoo. Roland Curtis. Look at Sean Porter's face at the end of the Ugas fight. Look at Sean Porter's face at the end of the Spence fight. Ugas beat Porter up bad.
No, what's that? Roland? Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Ugas, I like clearly beat Porter. Like,
yeah, on the replay, it was definitely like at least 7-5 with a knockdown. You know what I mean? No, definitely. And so with that being said, like this weekend, dude got COVID. David Benavidez.
I didn't even know that. So
he got COVID, but I don't think that's real. Yeah, I don't think that's real, because I think that Al and them knew that they were going to sign Canelo for the fight, and maybe they'll use Benavidez as leverage for the other fight. It's just the same thoughts you have are the same. Yeah. We're like, man, this is too much going on at one time.
And COVID is just the easiest excuse to use.
Convenient. It's totally convenient. And then you got, and now
shout out to wifey in the background.
Yeah, hey, and how Teofimo Lopez fight now is going to fall in the hands of Al. I mean, not Al, but Bob. If Eddie Hearn don't want to fight, because he's second in line with the purse bid. It's just so much going on, man.
You got the zone dipping out of America. You feel me? Like, it's like I said, man. I was just thinking about this shit earlier today, because I was watching. I ain't gonna give him no light on your channel, but I was watching one of the biggest haters of his own. You'll put it together. The biggest haters of his own on YouTube, one of the boxing YouTube dudes. And I'm just like, why is this dude so negative towards a lot of black fighters? But I'm just realizing, man, like, this is a crazy sport to be probably involved in as a fighter and just as a fan, like, because we recognize that it's just so much bullshit, and they still just think they can sell us the bullshit.
That's why I'm tired of it.
And we just kind of got to accept it and then just take the fights that we get. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's just like, damn, if you don't support boxing, the sport gonna die. But it's like, I couldn't spend $75 on that last night, bro.
Me either. No way in hell. I'm not paying for nothing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy 2 Wilder sweaters I'm just being honest. Like I'd rather give
I respect that.
I'd
Straight from
rather
Bronx
give
Barber
Wilder
too, right?
money straight.
Yeah,
And I think I may buy a new one and give one away on the show. But
yeah.
I just can't give boxing no money right now. I think because my preparation for a fight is I have to secure my home. So
Right.
it costs money for me to secure my home. So I still have to pay, even though I didn't go to Vegas. I still had to pay because people took time out of their schedule to make it
Right.
convenient for me to
Right.
go to Vegas. So
And then you know, for us, Vegas don't hit us in the ass too hard. And
yeah.
like I said, luckily for me, I gamble a lot, so I get my rooms comp, so I was able to just maneuver that. But
Mhm.
think about I and think about like your homeboy 78, like he
Mhm.
was gonna go to the Wilder fight, right? He all the way in fucking like Wisconsin,
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know Black Fight fan, he from Dallas. He probably was gonna go to the Spence fight. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of money to just throw away.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of us are going on Orbis getting the non-refundable rates.
Right.
Like because the airfare is $229 round trip. How can you pass that up?
Right.
Non-refundable. Get what I'm saying? So that's the impression I had. Blue Blood's gonna join us any moment now. He said he's doing stuff at the airport and doing that. Bro, gotta be easy. Okay. This team's. Oh, y'all had a conversation last time. Hey, bro, gotta be easy with all the goofy conspiracy theories. Stick to music, brother. That nigga, real life dog. Put some respect on it. Bro would have fought blind if he could have.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, all right.
I wonder. The bigger question is, when did the injury happen? Was it recently? When did it happen? You understand what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I hope that it's not no permanent. It's not. You get what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah,
maybe
no,
he was for a couple of weeks.
I
So I'm
hope it's
hoping it's
not,
not no permanent damage.
did they say whether it was a full retina tear or is it just a
I've heard both sides. So Earl's on do an interview with somebody soon. You know what I mean? And he'll clear the air. I don't know if it's a partial tear or a tear. I kind of stayed away from it because
yeah,
the fact is he's out. He has to heal.
yeah,
And I'm not a doctor. I asked Dre to come on, but but she only could give like what she read out of the book because
right.
she's a
Not
pediatrician.
there, she ain't seen it.
Yeah, and
I hope it ain't serious. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I've been rocking with dude for years, man. Like we literally watched everybody at welterweight try to avoid him.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean?
right.
Just even just for the mirror, I don't want Keith Thurman or Terrence Crawford to have that satisfaction. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like you got Keith Thurman in the last couple of weeks is really, I don't know. Well, you probably seen the interviews he was doing with Fight Hype and other
Yeah,
dudes talk about, oh, I don't know why Spence acting like that. Spence, you got to fight me. Like we all saw your whole ass ducking Spence for years, bro. Like you gonna act like you gonna flip it like it's Earl acting like that. So
right.
I would hate because we all know, man, Earl is a real one. Earl is as solid as they come. And
Human being, yes, for sure.
yeah, as
Yeah.
definitely as a human being, as a black man too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't really think we celebrate Earl Spence as a black man enough for what he stands for and his character. You know what I mean? And so I would hate to see it cut short like that.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right. And the last time not the last time we spoke, but we spoke in the DM, you got on my head about me being too hard on PBC. So go ahead, the floor is yours.
Well, it's for me, man. It ain't necessarily about being too hard on the PBC, bro. But and like I said, you my dog.
No,
And
I
so
that's why I enjoy the conversation. That's
the mistake I won't make this time, like I made last summer. I was talking to all your people and shit like it was just me and you talking. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay, this my thing. And like I said, I won't get too deep, but I'm about to bring it back to PBC. Oh shit!
You got a phone call. In the meantime, it was just getting good for y'all, huh? It was just getting good to y'all. That was Satan. Satan.
We,
Oh, good.
we
Turn your
good?
phone the long way, too. Turn your phone the
Yeah.
long way.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got you, brother.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Now we good. What's up? Go
All
ahead.
right.
Take your
So
time. We got time, so it's no rush.
I'm gonna bring it back to PBC, but I'm gonna start it off like this.
Uh-huh.
Okay, black people in about 2006. That's when we really got introduced to Obama, right? On a national scale, and we fell in love with him. He was captivating. He was well spoken. He had soul in his voice. All of that, right? Bam. He run for president. We all voted for him because he black, right? Let's keep it real. I remember my mom specifically at the time. She bought me a shirt. It had Malcolm X's face, Martin Luther King, and Obama face, right? And we celebrated Obama. Well, oh yeah. He became president. We were so happy he was president. We were celebrating it. Come to find out, Obama. We still, I don't think he a bad dude, but he wasn't an activist or nothing like that. He was a politician. He was a politician. He did his shit, and he's doing whatever he's doing with his life now. And he still speaks from a former president political standpoint. And I hear a lot of people. I hear a lot of black people kind of disappointed that Obama's not fighting for us like we thought he would. But my question is, when did Barack Obama ever say, "I'm the new age Malcolm X"? When did he ever say, "I'm the new age Marcus Garvey"? We put him in that position, and we championed him there, and created whatever we created in our own minds. So I bring that back to PBC. How 98% of us don't even know what the fuck Al Haymon looked like, bro. We don't even know what Al Haymon looked like. Yes, Al Haymon is black, and we saw what he did for Floyd. Before even Floyd, we saw what he did for Andre Berto and
Burning Forest.
Vernon Forrest and other dude.
Adonis Stevenson.
Nah, I can't think of dude's name right now, but Vernon Forrest, Andre Berto, later on Floyd Mayweather. These three black fighters made Floyd the biggest fighter in the world. Took a lot of black fighters with him and other races, and left off of Golden Boy and all of that. But you never saw a press release saying we doing for black fighters, or we changing this racist game, blah blah blah. We never heard none of that about or for Al Haymon, and even you having a close relationship with Sam Watson at a time like that, you never really heard Sam Watson and them talking about this the fight we fighting. We kind of created that for ourselves. So I just say all that to say, like, boxing is just a crazy, fucked up industry in general, and the sharks gonna be the sharks and take advantage of the fighters and the fans. So I just feel like you rightfully so have a certain disappointment towards the sport, but I just feel like you put more onus on PBC because you were once very connected to him.
Sure.
But I think you use that and you just hold something against PBC as if they're doing something that boxing isn't just doing in general, the industry.
Right. Okay. Now let's take it back since we want to go back.
Yeah.
You brought up Andre Berto. I had one conversation with Al Haymon in my life. Right.
Okay.
It was after the Andre Berto media workout. Right. I'm not sure if I shared this story with y'all. It was at the downtown hotel. What is it called?
By the Staples Center, the Ritz-Carlton.
The Ritz-Carlton. So I'm hanging out, and I'm not in a rush because I'm in LA. So I don't really have nothing to do during the day, but so I'm just hanging around, and I see Al. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, Al? How you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I know who you are. Hey, what's up?" And my camera was in my hand. I was like, "Oh, Al, my camera's not on, just so you know." I was just because I know how he is about cameras. So I said,
right.
"Oh, I'm not worried about your camera." He said, "It's those crackers I'm worried about." And I said, "Oh, crackers." And I said, interesting. And who was with me? It was Fernando Pimentel from what's the name of that? Behind the Gloves. He was
Behind the
with me.
gloves, yeah, Fernando, yeah, because
Fernando.
y'all used to
Training
work
station.
together,
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, he says, I'm worried about those white people over there. I ain't worried about you. And then we had small talk about being black. I can't remember that conversation, but it was just small. Fernando may remember because he was like 2 feet behind me. He was just in awe, like he had saw Jesus Christ or something, right? And so that put me in a position like, oh, okay, I know what he stands for. You understand? So I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, now so let's fast forward to, and you can attest to this. So let's fast forward to like when we're talking about racism in boxing, right? And when it was Oscar De La Hoya and those emails,
Yeah, I
go
remember
Fred,
that.
go Fred, go Fred, go. Everybody's advocating for me, right? Because it's racism, right? I ain't got no help. No one's paying for my plan. I'm not saying that they have to or should. I'm just pointing it out that Fred is literally fighting this fight because he just advocating for truth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I fight against those racist emails. Right? A few years later, Eddie Hearn and his dad say some outlandish stuff about slave contract. I'm like, you say that in front of a black man on DS, so I fly to Arlington, Texas, and have that conversation with him. Right. And in the meantime, in between time, Fred is biting his tongue as it pertains to the systemic oppression that happens at PBC with Kelly Swanson.
Definitely.
Right. So
like you said, I had a personal encounter with her.
Yeah, so. and feel free to share that if you like. Yeah. And so every fight, for those of you who don't know, every fight, it gets worse and worse. So I'm getting louder and louder. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm carrying what happened to you. I'm carrying what happens to Dante, because keep in mind, me and Dante always had to reapply for PBC credentials. Always. We never got them the first attempt. Never got them. We always had to reapply. I'm like, why do we have to reapply? And we do good numbers. I'm not saying we were great back then, but we were doing solid numbers. You know, we were.
Especially Dante, for sure.
Yeah, Dante's always been great since I've known him. So I can't speak on him. I can just speak for me. You know, I was coming up at the time. And so I'm like, we do solid numbers. It's not like I'm comparable outside of
you know, the fight hypes and
outside of that clan and them. I think I'm somewhere in there. And so now I'm telling her about her. I'm telling her about her. Like, listen, you can't treat black people like this. And she just blatantly ignores me, right? So I go to Tim Smith. Tim, this is what Kelly Swanson is saying about black people.
And Tim's the kind of husky dude, right?
Yeah, Tim is the light-skinned brother. Had a 15-minute conversation with the man. This is what it. If it ever happens, come to me. So I do. Okay. Nothing happens. So now it goes bigger than Tim. It goes to Al. Al, this is what's happening in your. This is what's happening. She says, Black Story, she's being disrespectful to black media. This is where it's at. And my affiliation, my affiliation is with the PBC fight. I don't really care about Top Rank, not unless Shakur Stevenson is fighting somewhere where I can drive, or Terrence Crawford is fighting in Vegas or something like that. But outside of that, I don't really aspire to see any other type of fighters fight. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So my affiliation is with them just because of the relationships that I've dealt with. And so when I bring it up to him, it's like, shut up, Fred. Shut up. Take down your videos, Fred. Huh? Don't post on Instagram, Fred. Huh? I'm confused. But when it was about Oscar, it was like rah, 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 rah. When it was on Eddie Hearn, it's like rah, rah, rah. And I remember that conversation I had with Al. So I'm thinking, oh, Kelly Swanson? he gonna deal with her. So I can't respect him for that. I can't respect. I think he's a coon. For real, for real. Like I can't respect him for how he basically knew who he was talking to because it was me. So he knew the game. You get what I'm saying? He said, "Oh, I'm talking to Fred, so I got to talk like this to Fred." You get what I'm saying? And that's who he is. And so I assume that shit. He gonna deal with her. He got to. And so when I see him, I don't see the connection with being black, because he should have not protect. I don't need protection. I need the truth. I'm not asking for you to say this. And the reason why it's more on him is because he's a black man. I don't care about what white people do to me. That's why I never cared. Kelly Swanson never stopped me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how white people say, oh, Fred is angry, he's too aggressive. I don't care what you think about me. Right. You have no bearings on me. So that's my impression of Al in reality was not who he was when he was supposed to be who he said he was. So that's where I'm at with it, and that's why I really don't have no respect for him, you know.
And see, just what you saying that, you know, I was never privy to that conversation, initial conversation you had with him, and I wasn't clearly, if I wasn't privy to it, I wasn't there when you had it with him. So that helps me. That helps me understand your frame of mind when you do that. Oh, okay, so this is my question to you.
Yeah, sure.
So and I'm not even saying for my personal situation.
Okay, let me get the super chat so they can see your name.
Grab it.
Commentary was trying hard to convince us Pac was winning for sure. I did hear that. That was shout out to Dame Lillard. I thought I
heard about Dame Lillard.
Yeah, I thought they were anticipating a robbery. I died when Dame Lillard called them out. You always gonna hold your breath in Vegas.
Right.
You always gonna hold your breath. That's for damn. But go ahead, Tyran.
Going back to that, I was peeping out the score. I saw they I think I was looking out on Boxing Scene. They had it like 3-3 after 6 rounds, and after the 12th round, they had it 8-4 to Ugas. And Boxing Scene, they usually impartial. So I was like, damn, if I check back and Ugas lost, that's crazy. But
no, it was. Get back to what you're saying.
Yeah. But so my question to you though, bro, is all right, and not even leaving it to my personal situation that I went through, and you know I'll be real brief on that. So Fred invited me to the first.
No, I didn't invite you. I advocated for you.
So Fred, Fred know I'm a big time boxing fan. So
first of all, before that, I'm thinking in my head, the more black people we can get to cover the fight, the better. That's all I'm thinking. I'm like, and you're a friend of mine. So I'm like, shit, I got to get Tyran Brown in here because maybe if he loves it, you get what I'm saying? Maybe he'll do it, and I'll have a friend, you know, that I can go to fights with. But go ahead, tell your story, man. Tell your story.
So you know, for those who don't know, Dante don't live in the States no more. So Fred hit Dante like, hey, I'm gonna have my boy come cover the fight for you. And for me, I'm like, hey, that ain't really my lane, but you know, I'm always up for trying new things, and you know, so I covered the fight for Dante Boxing Nation. I'm at the fight. Kelly Swanson come up to me and started just talking to me crazy, cussing me out, saying you're always a problem at every fucking fight. Get the fuck out. I'm like, yo, I've never seen you in my life. What are you talking about? And then she get the security on me like, get him. He's a fucking problem. He's not like blah blah blah, and like just going in like. But I like as an adult, I ain't never been belittled like that before. Got escorted all out, blah blah blah. And
I didn't even know that you got escorted out, dog.
Yeah, not from the fight, and then they brought me back to like the press room, like not out the arena, but like three security guards, and she just yelling at the security like, "Don't let him fucking like nigga, like." And you know, I'm just I ain't even in, I'm not even nowhere in my environment at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm it's me and motherfucking Glasses Malone. If y'all know who that is, me and Glasses
Mhm.
Malone.
Oh, he saw the whole thing.
Yeah, me Glasses, and then but I felt bad. Who I felt the worst for was Boxing Ego, because he really do that shit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Glasses, we do music, bro. You
Uh,
feel me? Boxing Ego got treated the same way out that fight by Kelly Swanson. You know what I'm
wow.
saying? And if he sees this, I'm sorry if I put you out there like that, bro. Like, my bad. But um, and then she just had a nerve to come to me later. She was like, you know what? I didn't even realize, like, that's not even you who I was talking about. I was like, yeah, I've never even been to a fight like this. Like, uh, and she was like, oh, well, uh, like some like little slick comment, you know, like didn't even apologize or nothing like that. And not that I was looking for it, but like I said, so you knew about that instance, and you've probably known about things prior to that. So
Mhm.
my question, why were you sweeping a lot of the shit you noticed with Kelly Swanson under the rug for so long?
Good question. Is I never swept it under the rug. I always responded. But my responses got stronger and stronger and stronger.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't allow people to disrespect me. Like and because I deem myself as having a great life. I've created a great
For
life,
sure.
and I treat people like kings and queens. I don't belittle, or nobody in my life is subservient to me. So when I go somewhere else and people treat me like I'm subservient, I extract myself. So the first time I took it, I don't remember when the first time was.
Right,
I
right,
can't,
right.
but I'm saying over time, 2015, 16, 17. So my voice is getting louder. And then I'm like, Kelly Swanson, no, you can't do this. No. But who gets the brunt of it is the little girl. I don't know, I forget her name. She used to work for her. The little white lady, the little white girl with the annoying voice that you hear in the videos. Her
Not sure you're
directing
talking about.
directing traffic, directing traffic.
Not sure you're talking about, but
Yeah. So anyways, at the end of the day, so it got louder and louder and louder, and it got to a point where I just became a wall. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not listening to you.
yeah.
No, I'm not. So it got to the point where I wasn't listening to her. She told me to go. I just leave, and she internalized that, like, oh, how dare he do it on. I would just go outside and get interviews. You get what I'm saying? I'll walk them to the hotel, and
Yeah, I think that.
what they do is they go online and check what you're doing. Oh, and then you know what they say? Oh, you can't do interviews on the property. You only could do it in the media room. Oh man, I say, get the hell out of here. I would walk people. So that would be my new thing. I would never do interviews in the media room and them scrums and stuff, because I realize you learn as you get better and better at this. In order to get to where you want to go, you got to ask consecutive questions. You get what I'm saying? So I about 2018, 2019, I was like, I'm shifting more towards one-on-one stuff, even if I got to walk with them.
Man, and that's not to cut you off. You know, it's sad that it kind of got this way, but you doing your shit anyway. But you was really finding your rhythm at the
Yeah,
fights though.
yeah,
You was
yeah.
really getting in your
So,
pocket. My bad. Keep going.
no, you're right. You're right. And I felt it. And I felt that, like, I felt the growth. And so I said, I'm gonna just do it that way because it's just better that way. I won't bother her, she won't bother me. And if she tries to treat me like a kid, I'm gonna smack her hand off my shoulder, basically. You know what I mean? And then it came to a head. The Keith Thurman, what you call it, fight. Oh my god.
Pacquiao.
No, Keith Thurman way before. Oh no, that shit was a whole nother circuit. But oh my god, what's that fight?
Keep the
Josecito Lopez in New York.
Josecito.
Yeah, Josecito Lopez. And um in front of the weigh-in. Oh man, she belligerently disrespected me. But she's a white woman. So I put my hands
Super
behind
white.
my back and hit the record button. And because I knew what she was about, because she's coming at me, you piece of shit, you this. And I'm like, Tim, you hear her talking to me like this? I said, Tim Smith, do you hear this? And then as Tim is walking, as Tim is planted himself there, she's basically saying, "Oh, he's a racist. He's this. He's black stories don't matter." And then that's when what's his name came? Gary Russell came, and he kind of broke it up a little bit, and that was the end of it. And I basically said, "This is it for me. I'm done."
Yeah.
And it went back and forth, and I can't disclose what happened publicly,
For sure.
but it was a group, it was an effort, and I was on the phone with people and XYZ, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna give her your credential back." Oh, she set me up again. Oh, I was set up again. Errol Spence even saw it. They set me up again. I'm like, this is a setup. This is a complete setup. Earl saw it. He's sitting there next to me, and he's like, "Damn, a dude from Showtime says, 'Sit your fucking ass down.'" I says, "Oh," and I can't do nothing in that setting. So I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, this is some shit." Earl is right there. I'm sitting next to Earl, basically. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And to change subjects on you real quick, but the reason they felt like they could do that to you is probably because they just had you fucked up as a person, thinking you some little camera or media dude trying to make a couple $100 off this weekend. So that, you know, they looking at it like we could talk to you any type of way because you need us. We don't need you.
Mm-hmm. And I genuinely believe that. And so one thing led to another, and I was done. I was literally done, and I knew I was done. So I was just real reckless at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I said, once they take my credentials, I really don't give a fuck. I had it in my mind. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to move. And if it worked, it worked. And that's what it is. And in the meantime, between time, I'm getting messages back from Al. Like, I'm like, dude, you got to take care of this. No, I'm not. Can't sit here and take this when I'm in the right, and she's 1000% wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so after that, I'm like, I have no respect for you. You go over there, you do that, and because nothing was ever questioned. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not the only one that this happened to. You know, I've watched many media members, and some of them do it for a living.
Right.
So I take it, I personalize that. You understand what I'm saying? And out of respect for them. But then when I go push, I'm like, damn, I'm pushing for you though.
I was just about to ask, do you feel I was about to ask, do you feel thrown under the bus by other fellow boxing media members that know just as well as you how they get treated?
Not thrown under the bus, but I think it becomes a time like Martin Luther King said, where silence is a sin. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't like. Here's the weird thing about it. I don't value what I don't own. Right? So I don't own that credential. I'm not mad for not being in there. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't. If you take something from me and it's yours, I'm just gonna give it to you. And I say, I gotta work harder. I gotta get this. And so I never was mad, never cried, never was mad. Everybody will tell you, I was like, shit, I don't give a fuck. I'll just do my stuff outside of the arena. And I know I'm gonna grow because of my work ethic and everything that I do. So I wasn't concerned. And they got mad at that. They walked up to me. What fight was this, man? That, oh my God. They said, "Oh, you can't do interviews in the MGM." I'm like, huh? I can't do interviews in the MGM. I'm a fan. What are you talking about?
Was it Wilder Fury too?
It was probably the last fight, whatever it was. It was that one or Wilder Fury too. Yeah. It was somewhere in there because they got mad because I don't need them now. I'm entrenched now. Like, it's like Fred is a staple. So, and I think it was Wild. No, it wasn't Wilder. It was a PBC fight. So whatever fight was in Vegas in between.
It might have been Thurman Pacquiao because my wedding was in Vegas.
Thurman Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Thurman Pacquiao. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. Thurman Pacquiao. Thurman Pacquiao. Yeah. And they were on me. Give me your camera. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I said, I'll never cover a fight again. That was the last time. So they had it in for me. And that's the point that I want to make is like, if you come off as one thing, you can't be the other. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
It's just what and I'm not mad at him for it, but I own this now, so I can say what I want. You get what I'm saying?
And like I said, I came with my whole theory, not knowing that he did come off to you like that before. You know, because I have never heard him come off like that. So that gives me more understanding of the regard that you
Fernando was
have.
there. He heard the whole conversation. Fernando was there. He heard it. And but it's just I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. And so I personally, so here's the catch. I throw them all in the same box together. You get what I'm saying? Well,
Right.
Like last week, Eddie Hearn fucked up. He pulled out of America. I'm right, niggas. I told you this shit was happening. Y'all didn't listen. And when Bob fuck up, I'm gonna be on Bob too.
And see, that's for me. That's the lane that I was kind of coming from. I'm like, nigga, all these promoters is janky. All of that shit. Like I said, all this shit. Cause I think I would, correct me if I'm wrong. I think what I reached out to you about is because you said the reason why PBC fighters aren't improving is because they're not fighting too much right now. Yeah, and I'm like, bro, it's the pandemic. The only person with a lot of fights is Canelo. That's what sparked this, right?
The pandemic. Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm saying that's what sparked our conversation, right? When you made that post about, I think you said PBC fighters on. It was after the Charlo fight, right?
Yeah, Charlo Castano. Charlo Castano.
And that's
like, you're talking about the platform. You're talking about you coming on. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so and like I said, my whole thing is, and I like I said, I have to eat a lot of my words because you introduced me to some new information. But like I said, man, I lived in Vegas for 7 years. You know, I ain't gonna sit here and act like Floyd is this honorable dude that care about his people. And you know, he is probably one of the biggest spokespeople for Al Haymon. You know what I mean? And I just like I said, you know, Don King played the whole I'm for the people game, and he probably raped fighters worse than anybody. You know what I mean? So it's like boxing is just a business that take advantage of his fighters and they take advantage of his fans, honestly, because we, especially now, we so thirsty for a good fight and we love the sport. We just sitting here letting them dick us around. You know what I mean?
That's where I'm going with it. And that's where I want to be with this platform. You know, I don't give a fuck about none of them. The only difference is that they get to hear me talk to Bob in a casual conversation.
Right.
But they don't know the history where me and Bob so I'm at a space where I can talk to Bob and disagree with him and talk to him like I talk to you. I got 12 years with Bob. It's different. Like we have a unique relationship, and he's come to the realization Fred ain't changing. I'm come to the realization that's how he's gonna run his business, and whatever he wants to give me in an interview is literally what Bob wants to give me. I can't trick Bob Arum into nothing. Bob Arum is a media guru, genius. He can manipulate any. So it is what it is with Bob. And so I know this going in now. When I was young and fired up, when I was writing for the Sentinel, I would go guns blazing on Bob Arum because I had 3 hours with him. Yeah,
you gonna get that truth out of Bob Arum.
Yeah, but now it's like, you know, but that's the only side of the coin they see.
Right.
Is Bob Arum. Eddie won't come on this platform. Bob will. Al Haymon doesn't talk to nobody. So now they have this thing like, oh, I don't care. But I know who he is, so I can just sit here and just ask questions and be like, that's Bob Arum. You know, he's a master promoter and he's a lawyer first. So you're never gonna pin him in the corner. Yeah.
Never.
Never. So go ahead.
And he's so cocky with it.
Mm-hmm.
he hasn't even felt like he's had to adjust
Mhm.
at all over these 40 decades. He still spins shit the same way. Once again, when Floyd was with Top Rank, Floyd was the next Sugar Ray Leonard, and blah blah blah. You know.
Mhm.
As soon as Floyd's still under contract, but he want to be bigger, he can't sell tickets. Blah blah blah. And 30 years later, or not 30 years, 15 years later, it's the same narrative with Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Every
And
fighter, same thing.
it's like he's so smart and he feel like the boxing world is still so dumb. No matter how much y'all talk on YouTube and all of that, he like y'all dumb enough to where all I had to do is never admit it and spin it how I want to spin it.
Right. Right. Truest stuff ever spoken. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think all of them are the same.
Yeah,
Like for example, people say like I am who I am, right? If and I've always been this way since I can remember. If you and I go out to a club and let's say I got the money, right? And I'm not gonna say, hey Tyran, hey, let's go to Maestro's. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know you ain't got the money. So I'm like, man, we about to go to this Jack in the Box. We're gonna get these 2 number ones and we gonna make it do what it do. You get what I'm saying? Because I can't pay $100 and this and that. And part two, if I can't get into a club, the people I come with, if they can't get in the club, I can't get into the club.
right.
You get what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem. People say they doing so much, but I'm like, there's so many other fighters that ain't getting fights.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You can go down the list, that fighters who are not fighting, and that's my stance. And at the end of the day, it is the same business model.
Right.
It doesn't matter. PBC fighters, the elite fighters only fight once every 10 months. The business of boxing is robbing these great fighters of their prime,
And
of
that, and
their
that,
youth.
and that was my only thing I was saying to you. I just didn't. And once again, I understand where your disappointment is with Al Haymon and
I'm
shit.
not disappointed. I know it's polarizing. Like you didn't believe me when I told you this, but if I put, Bob Arum is doing this, no one's gonna care.
Right, because you're right.
Exactly. So if I say Al Haymon, I'm like, I know the response I'm gonna get. It's like yesterday. I said he's trying to sell us shit and trying to sell us what you call it.
He trying to sell shit and say sugar or some shit.
Yeah. And I had thousands of people in my stories yesterday. You get what I'm saying? So that's the point that I'm saying. Like, I know I understand it. Like, Gary Russell ain't fought in 2 years. Keith Thurman ain't fought in 2 years. You get what I'm saying? They begging for fights. But if Deontay and Earl and Tank get a fight, everybody's happy. But if you leave 50% of the other people out, how is it fair? Where's the, like I said, Malcolm X said you got a 9-inch wound and they pulled the knife out 6 inches. Are you healed? No. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think they're all the same. The example I use is Gary Russell. How did all 3 of those other fighters fight each other? Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, under the same banner, and Gary Russell gets none of them.
And that's where, and so when it's all said and done, we on the same page. Just saying, all the powers that be, they all operate in the same way. Because honestly, because I do see a lot of people be like, nah, PBC, like they care about their fighters over there better than blah blah blah. It's like, man, it might, like, they might make more money over there and they might, think more long term and shit outside of boxing, but it's still, they doing it for their best benefit over the fighters, period. You know what I mean? It's still PBC don't want to share fights with Top Ranking ESPN because they don't want to split the revenue. You know what I mean? Because so it's just like I said, I don't fuck with none of the powers that be at all. Me personally, like I said, I don't have no personal vendetta against PBC above anybody, but at the same time, I'm not going to champion. I'm not going. I see a lot of these people even people like in the LDBC and all of that, it's like they talk shit about how Eddie Hearn this, Eddie Hearn that, but it's just the same way. I try to look at shit outside the box. The same way that people that rock with Eddie Hearn and fuck with the zone, they sticking up for the zone the same way y'all sticking up for PBC. But if you can take a step outside and look at it, it's all snakes taking advantage. You feel me? I don't fuck with Eddie Hearn at all, but what I can say I respect about him, you ain't gonna crack him. You know what I mean? And he gonna always be on his toes and know how to maneuver the situation. And we could notice that bullshit from a mile away, and so we could call out Eddie Hearn, but we got to be able to do that with everybody. You feel me? Sure. Because if y'all don't, if motherfuckers is just over here saying, "Oh, Eddie Hearn, the zone is some bullshit," top ranking ESPN is some bullshit, but the PBC they doing it right. If we just doing that, that's gonna allow the powers that be at PBC to not really be accountable. So right. I respect you for including PBC into that. You know, I just initially was looking at you like, yo, why are you trying to?
It's more polarizing. And I told you that in the DM, you didn't believe me. If I say Eddie Hearn, no one's gonna care. But if I say Al Haymon, I'll get 4 phone calls that day.
Yeah,
guaranteed. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, they'll either be 100% for me or 100% in disagreement with me, you know. And the same thing I use in the chat. It's no need ever me for to use Eddie Hearn's name. Why? They like it's the victim. It's the victim mentality. So, but if I use Al Haymon's name, it's like fuck Fred, fuck Fred. So I get everyone attached to the show.
And your audience already. Whatever you had to say about Eddie Hearn, your audience already knows that already.
Exactly. BlueBlood, what's up, man?
What's shaking with you, King, man?
You in Vegas or LA? I mean Vegas.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas now. I was trying to get here and get to the airport early so I could just sit here and do the show.
Okay.
And that's why I got TSA, man. And man, I get here and these motherfuckers told me ain't no TSA. After I done paid for it, so I brought all my electronics with me in my bag. Now I gotta dump all this shit out because they talking about ain't no TSA, but I paid for this shit already. Right. Horrible, man.
Exactly.
Anyway,
E1K.
This shit horrible, man. So what I pay for it?
Right.
They talking about we don't have it in Vegas. So why you ain't tell me that in New York? They had it in New York when I came here. That's some stupid shit. So they should tell me like, yo, we don't got that in New York, in Vegas. They don't tell me that.
There you go, Blue. There you go. Turn it the long way. E1K says exactly, but these motherfuckers couldn't understand accountability if it was written on their forehead.
Say it again, please.
He was reading.
Nothing. Anyway, we were talking about if you want to chime in. Tyran, go ahead. What were we talking about? You had just finished talking.
No, man, I'm a little lost, but I was just saying, I was just saying, yo, audience, if you was saying Eddie Hearn or Bob Arum is doing that, your audience understands that already, so they, you know, it's no like. There's nothing they're learning here, you know. If everybody's under the impression that PBC or these golden child that's operating differently, and you're the one kind of bringing that to the light, like it's giving a whole new perspective. So right. I get that.
Okay, right. All things poppin' says funny how only black people say we got to be fair. Fuck being fair. I don't believe in equality at all. How was the fight last night?
Wait. For some reason, I feel like that's directed to me, and I feel like that's directed to me because I look at things from the whole objective, and you know, people tell me that shit all the time. But at the end of the day, for one, I gotta be solid with my principles before anything. So I'm not the nigga that's gonna be like, oh, well, white people don't do this, so I shouldn't, or Mexican people don't do this, so I shouldn't. Or for me, understanding how I gotta move in this world to be successful for me, my wife, my family, for everybody in my circle, I'm not gonna be the person that just turn a blind eye to some bullshit that I notice. If I notice some bullshit, whoever's doing it, I gotta call that shit out because I gotta just stick to my principles. So I ain't gonna be the nigga that's like, oh well, the white people ain't gonna be fair, so the white people ain't calling it how they see it, so I'm not gonna call it how I see it. Straight up. And I don't care what anybody say about that.
Yeah, Blue Blood. How was the fight last night, Blue?
Man, it was that shit was action. It was action packed, man. You know, it was a the atmosphere itself was kind of it was lit, man. But
Really?
from my understanding, they was giving away tickets. So you know,
Oh,
when if you got people coming off the street drinking, of course the atmosphere gonna be lit.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's different if you playing. You know what I mean? It's a different set of fans if you playing opposed to you telling people off the street, yo, you getting this ticket, you know, come check out this fight. That's a whole different situation. You know what I'm saying? But in the arena though, one thing I can say though is that I feel like the Filipino fan base and the Filipino people, they had a sense of peace after the fight. It was like relief, like it's over. It's the end of an era. You know what I'm saying? It's like the end of an era. You know, he gave us everything he could. You know what I'm saying? It's over. Like they was cheering, they was clapping, but not a clap of, you know, it was like an applaud of a farewell. You know what I'm saying? That's how I took it. It was like, you know, thank you. It was a thank you. You know what I mean? Opposed to, you know, people clap for their you know, their own people, and you know, Mexican fans would clap and gave them a good fight. But nah, it was a sense of them clapping and you know, and them saying to themselves, you know what I mean? It's it. And all the Filipino people I talked to after that, they was like, you know, it's over. You know, call it quits. You know what I mean? And I just put up a video. I just uploaded it because I was running out of time. But you know, his wife put up a long, heartfelt message.
Wow.
And to me, you know, that message, she never did that before. We always see her at fights, and we always know that she's, you know, she's like, you know, she's squirmish. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not for her, but she just there to support him. But she put up a long, heartfelt message. And if you're married or you got a girl, you got a fiance, you know, you can read between the lines. In that message, she's saying, you know, I'm proud of you. You know, you always try to, you know, please the fans. You always try to help everybody. That's saying it's over. You know what I'm saying? She just told him it's over. You know what I mean? We've seen enough. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question, bro. So based off of your small arena, so do you even think his fan base would even be interested, or do you think they'd be like?
Say it again, King, because you was breaking up.
Oh, I said based on your small observation of you being in the arena last night, do you even think if Pacquiao did back and fight again, do you think his fans like would even not be interested anymore?
Damn, that shit breaking up again.
Oh damn.
DB's still under the weather a little bit. He'll talk about it when he gets back. He'll be back sometime this week. You know, send your prayers to DB. You know what I mean? Send your prayers to DB.
Say it now. Say it again now.
Oh, I just said based on your small sample size of you being in the arena last night, do you think if Pacquiao even tried to come back again, his fan base would even be interested?
Do I think Pacquiao could give Errol Spence trouble?
Nah.
His fan base, Manny Pacquiao's fan base. Do you think that they'll be interested in Manny Pacquiao's return?
What the fuck, man?
His service is gone.
Can you hear me, Blue?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, he wants to know if Manny Pacquiao came back, would his fans care?
Do his fans care?
Would they care if he came back?
Bro. You can't hear
Oh, yeah, I think they would. I think they would. I don't think they want to see him get hurt. That's why I said it was a sense of. I think it was a sense. That's why I said it was a sense of they were at peace and they want him to make that decision. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a sense of, you know, we seen it all. You done it all. You gave us everything. They saw what we saw. You know what I'm saying? They watched him get his ass beat like we watched him get his ass beat. He got his ass beat, man. He was gasping for air in the third round, man. You know what I'm saying? That's for a guy that's always in shape like him. You know, I hate to say it because it takes away from Ugas. You know what I mean? But he ain't got no more. It's over. You know what I'm saying? If Ugas could poke his face out at Manny Pacquiao, and you know, Ugas is a good fighter, but he ain't a great fighter. You know what I mean? And if he could poke his face out at Manny Pacquiao, and he could, you know, he was toying with Manny Pacquiao, man.
Yeah.
If he could do that shit, it's over, man. You can't take no more, man. You can't. How much more you gonna take? And then that's just the sense I got in the arena. Like his fans was like, they gassed, like, you got through this one. You didn't get knocked out. Because I thought at one point, man, it was looking bad. You know, like he was getting to get stopped. And I think that they felt that too. Like, fuck, he can't. I think they felt the sense of peace. Like, glad this ain't Errol Spence.
Right.
Right.
They was
I just
they was feeling like, glad this ain't Errol Spence. We was over there like, damn, if this was Errol Spence.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yo, it was people in the crowd, man. They was like, yo, y'all got lucky. They was telling people, Filipino people, y'all got lucky. Man, the people was chanting Errol Spence.
They were?
That dude is a superstar, man.
Earl's a star? That's good.
They was chanting Errol Spence. Yeah,
That's
man, that
good.
dude is a superstar, man.
No, that's good to hear.
He's a superstar, man. If people try to say, man, if last night I saw it, man. Everybody I did the Big 3 game. Every basketball player was like, I ain't going to that shit. Errol Spence ain't fighting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a testament, because it's still Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You won't hear people say, man, I ain't going to no Floyd fight because his original opponent ain't fighting. Nobody gonna say that shit. They still gonna go. So that just shows that Errol Spence was the star that we wanted to see. It's amazing, man. You don't really see it. That, you know, we didn't really see it. We don't really get the full understanding of his star power, man. Because we always attested to, oh, he fighting in Texas. Oh, he's supposed to get a big crowd. That's his hometown. You know what I'm saying? Or he fought in L.A. You know, well, Sean Porter is a good fight. We got a reasoning for why Errol Spence is a superstar, other than Errol Spence just being a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao is a superstar. Floyd Mayweather is a superstar. I don't think no fighter today's time can ever reach that level. It's just a different time, man. You get 10 million free streams. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd Mayweather caught lightning in a bottle, man. You know, because he got it at a time where there wasn't no illegal streams and people couldn't find other ways. So essentially, they paid to watch Floyd Mayweather. Today's time, I'm eager to see how many people. And I know people ain't pay for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know people ain't pay for this shit, man. They didn't, you know. And another thing was, I was surprised, right? They were playing. What I mean by that is that they had a lot of Latino music playing. They had they were catering to Ugas, which kind of, in a sense to me, it's like they understand that this is no more. This was a passing of the torch for sure for Errol Spence, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And if this was Errol Spence, you know, he would have stopped Manny, man. It would have been ugly. Like Earl just said on Derrick James' page. He said, Derrick James said, man, it was all good just a week ago. And Errol Spence, he put under his post, He said, "Shit, it wouldn't have been all good for Manny Pacquiao, especially this version we just saw in the ring."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my thing is like, he would have stopped him, man. He would
Really?
have stopped him, man. He would have. Yeah, he would have. He would have. I think he would have obliterated Manny Pacquiao, man.
Yeah.
Because Manny Pacquiao had no power last night. He had no power, man.
Mm.
Like Ugas got to a point where he wasn't even worried about what was coming back. He was just taking it.
Damn.
Yeah,
He was there. He was at ground zero, so it's very.
not at Vegas airport. That shit was gonna be having no service.
Yeah, he gotta connect to the. Okay, there you go. Let me. All right, go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So he was just, he was taking Ugas. Ugas was taking his punches, man. He had no power on his punches, man. He just was active. Just the threat of his past, I think, was making Ugas weary. But if Ugas really understood that he had no power, man, last night. He had no power. And Ugas was, respecting him, I guess, because of his legacy, you know what I mean? But and his past, you can't, just walk right. But man, listen, if that was Errol, he would have stopped. If that was Terrence Crawford, they both would have stopped him. And they would have been looking to make a statement. I think Ugas was more, the difference between Ugas and Errol and Terrence is that Ugas is just looking to get a big victory under his belt. They looking to make a statement.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They looking to make a statement because they already seen as the best fighters, one of the best, or of this era. So they like fuck Manny Pacquiao. They respecting him, but they want to put that notch, that feather, they want to scalp him. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Ugas just want to get that victory and cheer and celebrate. I beat Manny Pacquiao. He don't care how he beat him. They want to put him to sleep, like Marquez. You know what I'm saying? Marquez is like, listen, well, them 3 fights prior, I'm trying to put your ass to sleep. You know what I mean? So that's what Errol and I believe Terrence Crawford would have been looking to do, or even Sean Porter. Like, those types of dudes, man, they got a chip. They looking to prove a point. Ugas is trying to come through the door. They already inside the party.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Now they trying to be the life of the party. Ugas is just trying to get inside the party. You know what I'm saying? They've been inside the party. And what Errol brings to the table, man, the technical abilities, he don't give you the openings that Terrence Crawford gives you. Now, he do get hit, but he don't give you as many openings as Terrence Crawford gives you. Terrence Crawford he'll give you opportunities because he'll take 2 just to try to get you out of there because he got such a chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? His pride is so big that he feel like the world is always against him. So he want to make a statement. Errol's trying to get you out of there. He's just trying to break you down. He know his confidence. He know he the man. Yeah, he want to mow you down. He want to walk you down, break you down. You know what I mean? That it was. But the feeling in the arena, man, it was kind of like when I was at the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul fight. After that performance, it was like you understood that Floyd Mayweather was 44 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
At that point in time, after you watch Floyd and Logan Paul, even though it's a YouTube, even though it's an exhibition, it settled in like, all right, he's 44. You know what I'm saying? Like now we know he's his age. And the same feeling I got last night with Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people felt like, all right, he's his age. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't gonna define the odds no more. It's over.
It's
you
over.
know what I'm saying? Like it's over. It's over. He can't. And that's why I say I felt like the Filipino people. They felt like, man, I'm glad this ain't Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad this ain't Errol Spence. I went to Fatburger, man. I ain't never seen so many Filipinos in the Fatburger in my life, man. But there was a lot of Filipinos there, and they was like, man, that's it for Senator. And they wasn't calling him Manny Pacquiao no more. They just calling him Senator Pacquiao. That's how you know he in retirement. You know what I'm saying?
Larry.
His first name became Senator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's no longer Pac-Man. It's the Senator. He's done. You know what I'm saying? Stick a fork in him.
Right.
We know he ain't got no more left.
Right.
It's over. You know
Right.
you know what I mean? It's just like Floyd Mayweather. He's just Floyd Mayweather, man. Money Mayweather just persona. We see who you are now. You know what I'm saying? It's the retirement. It's over.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I saw last night in the arena, man. And I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? We never expect it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in any other sport. Like, I'm gonna always expect LeBron James to be LeBron James until he can't dunk no more. And then one day he ain't gonna be able to dunk, and we're gonna be like,
damn, right?
he really old. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, he really can't do it no more. And you know, I think that's how we feel about, you know, a lot of people felt like, man, Ugas ain't the best fighter in the world. Man, he gonna go right through him. Man, we dismissed we know in the back of our head, man, this dude had a 2-year layoff. You know, we know he had a 2-year layoff. We know he's 42, but he's still, even at 42, he could beat Ugas. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case at all, man. That's not the case at all. He looked bad, man. He looks sloppy. Huh?
Now I was like, let me get the super chat. Marky Dan, 1, 2, 3. We got to give Ugas credit. Nobody gave this man a shot. He was a 3-1 underdog going into the fight, and Pac fans been abusing this man online. They've been. You got anything for him, Trey? I mean, Ty. Excuse me.
Well, the thing is just like Pacquiao fans, just like a lot of UK fans, but at least UK fans, at least they understand boxing a little bit. But Pacquiao fans, especially like Filipino Americans, they don't even watch boxing. They just love Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And Ugas is not a household name. So, you know, because they was abusing Errol Spence's name before Spence pulled out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you talk to somebody in boxing and they're like, oh, I don't think Pacquiao gonna win. You know, Ugas can box. Like, what? Ugas, he's a bum, blah, blah, blah. But you just gotta know, like, Pacquiao fans, it's like us when Serena Williams got to tennis. And Serena Williams was really dominant for so many years, but we don't know tennis like that. We don't know who the fuck Maria Sharapova. We don't know none of that. We just saying you can't fuck with Serena. I don't give a fuck who you are. So you just got to look at Pacquiao fans with a grain of salt. They just going for their countrymen. You know, they don't know shit about boxing.
Right. Hey, Blue, how was the
and you gotta remember too. You gotta remember too. Manny Pacquiao comes from poverty. You know, so he's a superhero. He's not a boxer to them.
Yeah, you're right. He's definitely
he's an example. You know what I'm saying? So it's different when, you know, it's like us. You know what I'm saying? We love Deontay Wilder. We love, you know, Errol Spence. We love these fighters. It's just the difference between us and everybody else is that we have so many.
Right.
We have so many. Right. You know what I'm saying? We have options. So that's why, you know, when Terrence Crawford is coming on, people don't understand, you know, because we have options. You know, we don't like how Terrence Crawford moving. You know what I'm saying? So we be like, yo, it's because we have options, but they're coming from the same mud that we coming from. You know what I'm saying? But we have options. We got Errol. You know what I'm saying? So we could say there's so many of us that come from the mud.
Oh, you get on the plane, man. You get on the plane, man.
Yeah. Man, they changed my flight because that storm in New York.
Oh, okay. So you on the red eye? Ooh, and yeah, man, get there safe.
Yeah, I
don't
get there till 7 o'clock in the morning, man.
But it's nonstop though, right?
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Yeah.
I was trying to get a little of that yak in me or something before I get on here to knock me out. You know what I'm saying? But they helped me up. Well, when I text you earlier, I was at the line, man, coming in here, man, but they kept sending me back. Oh, you got this in there. You got this in your bag. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you killed my time. Then I had to take a train over to the gate. Killed my time, man.
Well, give your parting words, man, because you're about to get on this plane, man. And
I'm about to talk until we get ready to pull over.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, why not? Yeah, Tyran, wake up, nigga.
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling.
Hey, Blue. How was the what Was it a star-studded crowd there, or no, or was it just like a regular crowd?
Big crowd, right? It was a big crowd because it was stars scattered. I think Jamie Foxx was there. I'm sorry. I think Jamie Foxx was there. I think,
Yeah, we can't hear you, Will. Will, we can't hear you.
I'm right by the fence. I'm right by the fence.
Oh, okay.
You hear me
No, we can't hear
Not
you.
really.
I'm about to walk past the fence again.
Sound
Okay.
like you scuba diving, nigga.
Yeah, I'll mute you until you. I'll mute you until and unmute yourself when you pass it, because it's that sounds like an engine going off. All right, for sure. Yeah, man. So I thought the crowd was like it wasn't like a big fight crowd, but I felt like it was a lot of people there watching a spectacle.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel like it was the fans were engaging, you know, and I was watching on my computer though, so it wasn't like on my TV, so I couldn't really see the crowd and really feel the fight. But I felt like a lot of people were sitting on their hands last night.
Well, this what I tell wifey, because in all fairness to Manny Pacquiao, if they had said, you know, all right, Manny Pacquiao's comeback fight, and you know, 15 weeks ago we got presented Manny's Pacquiao comeback fight, and it's because he's the regular champion and Ugas is the super champion, so he's fighting for his belt back, and they built it up like that. I think I would have been personally a little more excited, and I think you could have sold it. You would have had a longer time to sell Ugas and all of that, and it could have made people a little more interested in it, and you could have got the more star-studded effect to it. But it's like to tell us, you feel me? If you tell me we about to go like you just said, you just said Mastros.
Yeah,
you tell me we about to go to Mastros on August 21st, man. Get ready, man. Then you hit me up on August 10th, like, hey man, you know what? I'm still taking you out to dinner, but we're going to Sizzler, bro. You feel me? Like if you would have just told me we're going to Sizzler from the gate, I'd have been like, all right, that's cool. Like I used to like Sizzler when I was a little kid, you know, that's cool. But if you tell me I'm going to Mastros, and then in the 11th hour, now we got to downgrade it to Sizzler, nobody's gonna give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I think the fact, I don't think it was because it was Ugas. I think it was because it was Errol Spence first, and then in the 11th hour, all right, nah, we just gonna give you this nigga named Ugas that don't speak English, and he's still black. So it's like the Mexican or the Spanish Latino crowd ain't even gonna really get behind him, even though he speaks Spanish, because he don't really relate to nobody. And then it's just like, who's this motherfucker that Pacquiao's fighting? We wanted to see Errol Spence. So it was just floating, like just the whole everything felt weird about the fight. Even when Errol Spence first pulled out the fight, I thought they were canceling the fight. Then I found out 2 days later it was gonna be Ugas too. I was like, man, I'm not going to Vegas no more. Like, I gave my room back. I was like, I'm not about to go out there for that.
Yeah. Hey, Blue, how was the undercard?
Your handbag.
The undercard was horrible.
Please place those.
Was it really?
Man, Victor Ortiz was on that motherfucker like that.
Dude, they had a 10-rounder as the co-main event, dog. I'm like, dog, you gotta fight for a belt for a co-main event on a pay-per-view, dog. You know, like,
and I'm about to say something that people ain't gonna like, right?
Oh, go ahead.
They ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say this, man. That's the testament to them not properly giving us people that look like us on the undercard. You're gonna replace Errol Spence, and you don't have nothing to replace him with, because from the get-go you had a whole card catering to everybody else. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? They should give us more respect. Give us our selling power more respect. They don't give us that. And that's a problem, man. You had a whole card catering to a school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the card was
Where's the
strange.
law?
The card was not cohesive.
So
So
now
I
you
give
got.
that.
English was the
Yeah,
second
think about
language
this, right?
last night.
Think about this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, it was a third language.
Wow. Wow.
You got to think. It was Latino and English. But Errol Spence fans, what they call it, and they speak English and they look like us. So now what happened to those fans that didn't get their tickets back?
Right, they didn't do no refunds, right?
They're in the arena. They're in the arena and don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know, who you rooting for? If you're an Errol Spence fan that came from Texas and bought a ticket, who you rooting for? What you rooting for? You know what I'm saying? Because even all the Latino fans that came for Ugas, they wasn't, they wasn't English speakers. So what happened? Because if you'd have gave us under that reflected Errol Spence, it would have been more conducive to the fans that didn't get back their tickets, that still stay loyal to the fight.
Right.
Or even like the media members like y'all too. Y'all could have been even a little more invested in the fight. Like y'all, because nobody give a fuck about covering Robert Guerrero and Victor Ortiz. But if it was like, you feel me? If it was like say they originally was gonna have like Lubin on the undercard. You know what I mean? Like niggas still want to know, like, damn, can Lubin bounce back and get back to where he was headed to at one time? Or if they had, I hear what BlueBlood saying, like, no, after Errol Spence dropped out the fight and it became what it was, there was really no reason to have any investment because people, the casual fans didn't know Ugas, so they weren't even excited like that. They just and then us, we know Ugas is good or whatever, but it's not nothing to like stop everything you got going on in the world for. So it's just no excitement, and then nobody on the undercard really matched. It's like because usually even if I know a main event is gonna be like a wash, if there's somebody on the undercard I'm excited about, like, all right, I'll watch this for the co-main because I know this nigga gonna be a headliner in 2 years.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first two fights. I heard that they both ended in knockouts, and I saw the highlights on Instagram. So BlueBlood just left, and so but I did watch the second, the co-main event, and I swear it was like I cut it on in round 2.
Yeah,
and the next time I paid attention to it, they say, and the winner.
Hilarious.
I'm serious. I was like, damn, I didn't even know the fight was. I literally forgot that the fight was going on because I had it on my computer and I got my TV on because I think the Raiders were playing the Rams.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm doing all that stuff, and I'm like, damn, the fight is over. And
that fight would have been the shit in 2008.
Man, it was just on some bullshit, man. It don't make sense to have a 10-rounder as your co-main event.
A 10-rounder of two people that are over the hill.
Yeah,
it's just like the winner of that fight. If like Robert Guerrero won that fight, you're not about to be like, okay, so do we think Robert Guerrero should be the mandatory? You know what I'm saying? Like it was a 10-round purposeless fight.
Means nothing. Like who do you anticipate Guerrero fight next?
Devin Alexander.
Berto? Like it does nothing for the sport of boxing. So with that being said, but the first two fights were good, they say. So maybe that kept the fans' interest up. But I didn't know any of the undercard fighters below Guerrero, and I don't really have a. But yeah, it was. They said, but the main event was very good and made up for it. The main event was good. The main event was a good fight because your energy had to shift in the fight. You know what I mean? It's like when you go in expecting one thing and then you get another, you become engaged into the fight. You know, Manny Pacquiao just was nowhere near as good as he once was. But I'm not discounting this win for Ugas. You know, I
Nah, not at all.
I think it's
I
a good
think
win for Ugas.
I think it's a good win for Ugas. Once again, he's a fighter that got dicked around in the sport. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for a motherfucker like him to get the opportunity. And I honestly think just Ugas' style alone and his discipline and his skill set, I think he would give Manny Pacquiao a hard fight if Manny Pacquiao was on his A game. You know what I mean? Not saying that I think Ugas will for sure win, but just with that range and his discipline alone, and once again, like we saw Ugas toying at Pacquiao at one point, but I feel like if Pacquiao was the Pacquiao we know him to be, we would have saw Ugas have to step his game up a level, and I believe Ugas has that in him. You know, so it was like I said, I knew it wasn't a bad fight. Like I knew, and I knew Ugas had a chance of winning, but it's like I said, I didn't want to go to Sizzler. You told me we was going. You told me we was going to Mastros, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's why I'm just not paying for no more fights, dog. I'm just not. You know what I mean?
Because regardless, even though Ugas won, we still don't think Ugas can fuck with Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. So the fight didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't. It was like a DAZN fight for me. You know what I mean? Like I watched every DAZN fight on crack streams, bro. Because it's just like,
man, who you telling, man? Who you telling?
It's just like, bro, I already know, you know, I don't rock with Eddie Hearn like that, but it's just like these are all fights like I know, like it's there's nothing compelling.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's just how boxing has been this whole year for me. Like I fuck with Tank, bro. I like Tank, bro, but it's just like I know you're gonna win these fights, so it's like I catch him if I ain't got. Like for me, I'm a nigga that I really love this boxing shit, dog. So I really be like leading up to the fights. I'm watching you. I'm watching Ego.
Yeah,
I'm watching all these motherfuckers like hyping myself up that weekend from the entries. Like my whole week is revolved around that fight, and everything I'm trying to do like is around that fight. And I'm altering my whole life to make sure Saturday night I'm solid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I really love boxing. So it's like, in order for me to get that though, y'all got to give me something to get goosebumps about.
Yeah, and there's no connection to the next fight. Hey, Super Coon, you want to beam in? Beam in. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, man. Super Coon, beam in. I want to. Everybody's waiting for Super Coon, but I will say that there's no connection to the next fight. It's like Tank Davis. What are you doing next?
Right.
Why are we having a conversation about an impossible fight?
Right.
Keith Thurman is not fighting Tank Davis.
I don't even get that energy. Keith Thurman is a clown, first of all. Yeah. And like I said, it hurts because he's from where my mom from. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But he's like, come on, why are we even giving that energy? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was just talking to my wife about this the other day, just venting my frustrations with boxing. It's like, if I was even trying to, you do this as a media platform. I do this as a fan, just with my homeboy. If I'm trying to even introduce people to why they should fuck with boxing, and I'm showing all these fighters saying, he's scared of me. He's scared of me. No, you scared. You scared. You scared. So if everybody's scared of each other, why the fuck should we watch y'all fight?
Oh man, Super Coon about to beam in, man.
Yeah, let your boy.
Oh man, what's up, man?
What's up, niggas? Am I black enough for you? Am I black enough for you, motherfuckers?
I thought John Singleton dog.
What's up? Black enough for you? Who's the blackest nigga in the room?
I think I still am, man. What's up, man? Did you watch the fight last night?
What's that?
Hey, you got to turn me down.
Yeah, turn that shit down.
I'm on a computer. Turn me off on the computer. Appreciate you beaming in, man. Appreciate you beaming in.
So what's up, fellas?
Hey, you and Drew Titan got to do a push-up contest.
Ain't that a bitch? I'll pick that motherfucker up by his throat. All right? I ain't that one. I ain't that one.
Oh, man.
What's up, Tyran? What's up, nigga? All you motherfuckers saying I'm white. Do I look white to you, motherfucker? Huh?
Nah, you look like John Singleton to me, bro.
Do I look like? What do I look like?
Man, turn this
You look
down.
like a nigga that don't know how to press mute on your computer.
Yeah, that.
Anyway, what's up, fellas, man?
So what'd you think of the fight last night? Manny Pacquiao and
Let me hold on a second. Let me pull this up.
you gotta take that.
Press mute on your computer, bro.
Hold on a second. I know. Let me take it down. Is that better?
All you gotta know,
That better?
close that channel.
That better?
No, close that link. Hit the X. You don't need it because you got us. You on StreamYard. So
Yeah,
you
you don't need don't watch.
Close what? This
close the YouTube link.
This little one in the corner.
This nigga just learned how to use a computer last year. The first thing you need to do is take them big ass glasses off so you can see better.
So you pushed the wrong button, man. But here.
Green.
Talk to your
Man, you just gotta.
Anyway, fuck you, Tyran. Tyran, you the most inarticulate motherfucker on earth.
That's cool. I'll be that.
You talk like you got a mouthful of marbles, motherfucker. You need to go back to kindergarten.
I still would never put them sunglasses on. Or that tank top.
And you know jack shit about boxing. Jack.
Hey, do you live in LA? Do you live in LA?
Nigga, turn it down, nigga.
I'm gonna pop out, Fred, and I'm gonna call back in so we can chop it up. I just want you niggas to know what time it is, all right?
Hey, super cool. Do you live in LA, bro? So you know, I know a lot of people in barbershop conversations rock with you, boy. A lot of people don't. Any of y'all that don't, if y'all live in Southern California at all, feel free to come to 10 Goose Boxing Gym at any time. We can get in that ring. If you think you know boxing better than me, I will spar you. That's how we can settle that.
Hey, you doing a good job in there, man.
Yeah, I spar again next Friday.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is I was gonna do a Wilder thing after Labor Day. 30 days again. I'll start it up again.
We got to do something, man. Goddamn, we
gotta do something. You're right. Yeah, we definitely got to do something. You know what I mean?
But I did want to talk to you about some alluding somewhat back to our original topic.
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate. I saw you post that one dude that signed to Mayweather, and they was like, "Oh, you should go on Barbershop Conversation."
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Man, I really wish I could, but you know, it's just once again, it's just fucked up." All right, because Floyd and Leonard Ellerby and whatever y'all got going on, they might look at it like, all right, I personally don't need barbershop conversations. Floyd might look at it like, I personally don't need barbershop conversations. But a lot of your fighters, them coming to your platform will help your audience fall in love with them and follow them and help build up their career. And to be holding them back just because they have personal issues with you, I just think that's fucked up for their career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know. That it's a crazy cycle, bro.
Yeah, and I look at it like, so what? You get what I'm saying? Like,
for you, it's so what? I'm saying for the
Jaleel, it's definitely gonna be a long-term impact on his career.
Yeah.
I mean, the more people you get in front of, the more probability they'll like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And support you. It's real simple. And it's a real simple math equation. But you know, Leonard Ellerby is just becoming one of the biggest liars in boxing. I mean,
they all are, bro. And this, like I said, man, and I don't want any of your audience to get it misconstrued that I think Earl isn't solid. I think Earl is a solid dude. But I also from the time I started watching Teofimo Lopez, he stood behind everything he said, and he was a solid dude with everything he said. His career got to a certain point, and he tried to be bigger than the sport with what he did with Triller, and he pulled that fake ass COVID stunt. I don't think that's Teofimo. Just like you posted about Teofimo's manager told another fighter to fake a hand injury.
Yeah.
I just feel like boxing, once you get to a certain point, the industry of boxing, it turns people, it puts people in tricky situations. And
Great
you know, Leonard Ellerby probably at some point was a solid dude.
It's funny. I think that all the time. I say that all the time. Now everybody's chasing the money. You know what I mean? You come in with a honest perspective, and then you realize, shit, they cheating.
Right.
Damn, I gotta pay the WBA, the WBC,
Right.
the IBF, the WBO
Right.
to get what I want, you know. So and now the fans don't win. And I told the fans the solution. We pull out and use our platforms.
And Fred, it's just so crazy, even to see where you and Andre Ward stand now, and you're somebody who was championing Andre Ward when a lot of people was trying to shit on him. And you know, I've just noticed little tendencies that Andre Ward has. And once again, that's just somebody I think, man, the boxing industry just got him.
Yeah. Oh, good point with that. I never saw it from that perspective.
Andre Ward, I still think Andre Ward, for the most part, is a stand-up dude. And throughout his career, he showed several times he was a stand-up dude. But he got to that pay-per-view level, and it's tricky, man.
Yeah, it's tricky. I get it. Damn, I never saw it from that perspective.
And so that's how I just look. That's how I look at it as a whole, man. Like, but once again, Leonard Ellerby is a reflection of Floyd Mayweather, who's a reflection of Al Haymon. Floyd Mayweather said it himself several times. He looks at Al Haymon as his father when it comes to. He said he looks to his actual father as his father on boxing, but he looks to Al Haymon as his father on life, and he taught me all of this. And we know that Floyd got his maneuvering tendencies. You see Leonard Ellerby with his maneuvering tendencies. You see that Tank is a solid dude for real. And you see that he emotionally can't handle the frustrations of what he goes through a lot dealing with Floyd and Leonard. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Al is the mastermind behind all of that. So it's like, and like I said, so I was never opposed to you talking what you was talking with Al Haymon. It's just like, man, you know,
just don't be. Oh, I was on Eddie Hearn last week, and Conwell's manager, Mike McHale, Fox manager, promoter, all that, man. But
the media around it,
yeah,
you feel me? As much as they want to tear Deontay down with all of this, and with Deontay, he wanted $20 million for step aside and blah blah blah. Deontay didn't want no step aside. He wanted to fight.
He want that fight.
He said it loud and clear. He wanted to fight.
He want that fight.
Tyson Fury doing all of these tactics, lying about fighting Carlos Takam in December, lying saying Anthony Joshua fight was locked in. Eddie Hearn saying it's locked in. All of that, and y'all still giving Tyson Fury all of the passes. That just lets you know how crooked this game is. And now you had Eddie Hearn, you know, Deontay took the loss, and now Eddie Hearn over here talking about, I don't even think Deontay is a top heavyweight, blah blah blah. Just these little manipulations and shit that they do to plant their seed in people's head, and you know, a lot of people be falling for that shit, bro.
Facts. No, that's big facts. And now that Eddie Hearn is pulled out of America, I wonder what a lot of his man fans gonna do now.
He's sitting back somewhere in London right now, masterminding the way to pivot out of this verbally. He gonna find a way, and he's gonna blame COVID. I'll throw that out there now.
You're right.
You know, with COVID in America and the travel and blah blah blah.
Nah, you're right, and I'm glad you brought that up about because I'm glad you said that unattached to me asking you the question about like when Leonard Ellerby says something, when Floyd says something, it comes from Al Haymon. And that's what I try and tell people here. Oh, Floyd don't make fights. Leonard Ellerby don't make fights. They don't do budgets. They don't do none of that shit. And I know it because I've been I've been behind the scenes, so I know it. But I'm glad you told them that, because I tell them that once a week, and they think I'm hating. I'm like, Floyd don't even go to the gym. You get what I'm saying? Like Leonard Ellaby don't even go to Leonard Ellaby don't even do none of that stuff, you know.
Right.
So I think it's just important that fans really understand the truth. And I think that I'm glad that they heard it from you. And I put them all in a barrel together, you know.
For sure.
And until they give us what we want, like I think Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson is something that we would want, you know. Only thing I would hope that they put in their contract that the winner, they must fight each other. It ain't no maneuvering around somebody. The winner of that fight gotta fight Oscar Valdez. I just would love to have that in the language of the contract. You know,
man, I'm gonna tell you right now, nigga, this shit gonna be maneuvering and maneuvering and maneuvering.
I know.
And before the pandemic, like, come on, Fred, you be at the fights. Like, you know how many fights be 30% full with tickets being given away. You know what I'm saying? So, like, before the pandemic, like, boxing was just a struggle. You know, I once again, like, even with Bob Arum talking about Terrence Crawford, I do believe that there's some truth in Bob Arum saying that he's losing money on Terrence Crawford fights. The only thing I don't like about it is, but you losing money on everybody's fights, bro. Like, not like, dog, Lomachenko fights don't be packed. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't isolate Terrence Crawford like that. But we know there's only a few fights that really, really generate the super revenue like that.
Right.
But the powers that be can't put it out there like that, so they're gonna spin it however they spin it. And they're trying to stretch whatever little, they're trying to milk whatever they can out of all these fighters. And so it's just, like I said, it's just a lot more talking of, oh, he's scared or he's blah, 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 blah. And it's like, man, but it's really fucking up the sport. I be honest with me, Fred, just as a fan, not even as a journalist. If Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fought and it was a close 7-5 fight that could go either way and you could argue about, and the nigga that you was going for lost, would you give up on him?
No. Oh, you reading? Oh, I'll read it to you. I know your eyes going bad, man. Tyran got hands. I remember that one time we had a 4-on-4 brawl at UNLV. Oh, you know you Brody in there? Hey, you Socks and E3. I think that was the first day I met you, bro. Tyran, the solid dude. Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, that's my boy Sam. Shout out to him too. If y'all in LA tapping with him on the party scene, he doing his thing. Yeah, Sam. You know, I just let these people talk. They can talk. They talk. Niggas will never talk like that in my face, bro. Niggas know what this shit do, bro.
Hey, but you know, I wouldn't give up on him if he lost 7-5 fight. No.
You feel what I'm saying? You feel me, bro? Like, come on, like let's quit playing. Like, even that Charlo Castaño fight, like, that was a great fight. It was a draw, even if it would have won either way. Like, let's run it back and see it again. So it's just like, I feel like all these promoters and shit, they doing so much trying to preserve the sport, and like I said, I'm not in the business and I don't understand, but fucking like let's put these, like, if they just got out of their own way and just put these fights together. If there was 4 major fights in different weight classes in a year, I think it would just be healthy for the whole sport.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But
and the logical fights. It's like
the logical fights.
Like we got one, Canelo, Caleb Plant. It makes sense.
So picture this, Fred, because it was supposed to be what what it was really supposed to be. July, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury.
Right, it would have been a big summer.
August, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, passing of the torch. And September, Mexican Independence Day, Canelo, Caleb Plant, the face of the sport now, with the young undefeated dude in his prime, they in the same age bracket. So that's 3 back-to-back quality fights that would have got a lot of casual eyes to respect the sport a lot more. And then once again, that makes David Benavidez' next fight big, because it's like, oh, he's in that same division with Caleb Plant and blah blah blah. That makes Terrence, you feel me? That, like, when the cream fight the cream, it makes everything. But like I said, that's just me as a fan, bro. That's just me knowing. That's just me knowing basketball and knowing when you watch two different teams that win in the first round, and you know they got to play each other in the next round. It makes it more intriguing. You know what I mean? So that's just me thinking with that mind. I don't understand the industry of it, but it's just like they killing it. I love this sport to death, bro, and I can't even defend the shit.
Right. Nah,
I can't.
you can't defend it. You know what I mean? Like we sitting on fights now. Like, why isn't Gary Russell fighting Tank Davis in Baltimore?
Come on, stop it. They both from Maryland. They from the same state.
Why
from the same state.
Why didn't Kell Brook fight Amir Khan 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Like
they grew up together.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Like,
these guys don't fight.
Like, bro, why you feel me? Sean Porter and Keith Thurman, that was a good fight.
Run it right back. That's the best fight ever.
If they would, they could have that because that's when CBS was doing the net. I mean, that's when PBC was doing the network shit.
Mm-hmm.
That fight got so many eyes on it on CBS. If they would have ran it right back, they could have did some pay-per-view buys.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And the fact that the reason why PBC put on those good fights is because they were advertising. They were advertising themselves to get a TV deal, and they actually got the TV deal, and they kind of slowed down. So we're still in that honeymoon phase with PBC because of what they gave us when they first came out. But now they don't have to because they have guaranteed money, and that's all of them. Bob Arum got guaranteed money. We know Eddie got guaranteed money. Eddie's living his best life. E1K, facts. It's a domino effect of good fights.
I mean, just even look at the lightweight division, man. With
everybody should be fighting, dog.
With Lomachenko, that was October. Because once again, that was a fight I was excited about. I was in Houston for my homegirl. My homegirl opened up a car dealership in Houston.
Oh, that's why.
I was in Houston celebrating that, but I'm like, yo, babe, whatever she got, I'm not missing the Lomachenko Teofimo fight. You feel me? And you watch that fight, and that fight, it looked like Teofimo was about to wash him, and then Lomachenko comes back, and it's a great fight in the end. But then the 12th round, Teofimo almost knocks Lomachenko out, and it's a passing of the torch, but it's a fight that could be a rematch. Then the new generation of the 135 is open, but that's October. It's September now, basically, and none of the subsequent fight, none of the fights after that the other lightweights have been in have been that impressive. Teofimo ain't fought again, so it's just like, damn, everything that fight gave us in October of 2020, nobody capitalized off of it. You feel me? And it's just like, everybody's just talking. Everybody's just on social media saying that everybody's scared of each other. It's like, bro. And meanwhile, you got Jake Paul coming in, finding him fight my homeboy, my nigga Tyran Woodley. We got the same name. My nigga Tyran Woodley. You got that shit able to come in and infiltrate the sport. But it's like, shit. I can't even put up a fight for y'all to watch, for the casuals to watch, be like, fuck that Jake Paul shit. Y'all need to watch this. Because every fight I've been saying, y'all need to watch this, the shit getting canceled.
Right. And Teofimo ain't even been in the ring.
Teofimo ain't been in the ring since.
We didn't get him to fight his underdog mandatory.
Like I said, in my mind, I'm like, damn, all right, bam. Boxing just gave itself another 3-4 years of life because we just got a new brash, cocky young dude that just of this new generation that just busted out his shell.
Right.
But he hasn't capitalized off of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just Ryan Garcia, mental health. Like, what are we doing?
It's all fake. Everyone got corona, mental health. Man, it's all a fraud, man. And I don't believe none of it. Now when they should have made the fights, now we're in a pickle position because now guess what? Devin doesn't have a deal.
Right.
So now he may have to get compromised to fight on Top Rank or PBC. And when he could have got what he wanted. You get what I'm saying? Like while he was on the zone, and maybe he could have been a bigger star than what
Right.
he is, but it's just awful, man. Now we got Devin Haney and Gary Russell will suffer the most because of this, because they are light years in terms of talent ahead of everyone in their division. Can they beat them? I don't know, but in terms of their talent levels, is far beyond their
the ability of the sport. Right. I get exactly what you're saying. Like I said, although I feel like there's kinks in Devin Haney's armor to where I feel like he's beatable. Still, just when I watch him, just his understanding, his skill set of the game is just ahead of a lot of people, especially in this generation. But it's like, man, you feel me? Just even just looking at how Keith Thurman's career turned out, man.
Ooh.
You know, it's just like you was playing around. You fought so hard to get to that spot. You were so hungry calling out Paulie Malignaggi and everything to get to that spot. And then when you get to that spot, you don't really do nothing with it. You know what I mean? And it's, once again, with Earl is there's you got the accident and shit. And like I said, I hope Earl's career isn't, stalled or halted. But if it is, it's less like, what a shame, because there really were those fights out there for him.
And it's just a reminder. Earl's eye injury is a reminder that y'all better get y'all money.
Yeah.
When it's ripe, eat the fruit. Don't save it for Thanksgiving. Don't save them shoes for, your son's graduation in 6 years. Wear them shoes, man. Wear that suit, man. Like, stop holding off your happiness for years on down the line, man. And
that shit, bro.
Yeah, man, it's just important. And we got about 5 more minutes in here, man. And but it's
saying AJ, like, I was hyped for that fight in 2015.
That fight, they should be on a rematch right now.
It should be on a trilogy. Then you feel me? Like,
yeah, it should be. Yeah, you're right.
Like, it's like for real. Sean Porter and keep like it's like Sean.
That was an exhilarating fight. Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. Ooh, and I think that's when Sean was like hungry. Sean is still hungry now, but imagine a hungry ×2 Sean Porter. Oh man, that's a problem. Now he's a little bit more arrogant than he's more. His arrogance has increased, so which decreases hunger. And that's for all of them though. That's not just that's Keith Thurman too though. Keith Thurman's in the same boat.
I really don't understand why, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Demetrius Andre, bro, like damn, he one of the most skilled fighters of like me and him are the same age. He's born in 87.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? From the 08 Olympic whole little bracket. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but he hasn't had one marquee fight.
Yeah, and he's not active enough neither. I'm talking about just in terms of his presence.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
If you're not getting fights, I would be in everybody's grill. They ain't gonna. Man.
Once again, I was at the fight, the first fight you ever invited me to when Jamar was on the Abner.
Yeah, that was a good card.
When that knockout of J-Rock, that took Jamar Charlo up here, and then
he should have stayed in that space, man. He wanted to be a good guy after that. He should have stayed the villain, dog.
But shit, what it was like, damn, since like he's had some good fights, but he hasn't even had no fight since that I was excited about leading up to it.
He hasn't. His 160 is equivalent to Terrence Crawford's 147.
Yeah, it's not. I'm a Charlo. I'm a fan of the Charlos, and I'm not knocking them per se. It's just boxing, dog. Like, and it's funny because Jamel Charlo gets a lot of criticism for this last fight he put on, but of all the boxers out of this generation, he's probably been in the most 50-50 fights.
Good point. And Jamel deserves credit for that. Jamel absolutely deserves credit for what he's accomplished in the ring. Him and Derek James have been a great combination. I think they've helped one another. I think Derek James has become a better trainer dealing with his personality, and I think Jamel has become a greater man dealing with the maturity of a Derek James. So I think it's a good mesh point for them too.
I mean, like I said, if you just go back with Jamel Charlo, his first title fight was supposed to be Demetrius Andre. Andre pulls out of that. We know the story. He fought Vanis Martirosyan when Vanis Martirosyan was thought to be and that wasn't even for a title on the line. You know what I mean? He put it when he beat Gabe Rosado, he put himself in position to fight Canelo when he was on Golden Boy. That never happened. His first title fight, he's losing the whole fight. Comes back.
Joe Jackson, right?
Yeah,
yeah, Hawk's son, right? Okay.
Yeah, gets the knockout. Destroys Charles Hadley is mandatory.
That
The
was a
Lubin
beautiful
fight. People didn't think he could fuck with Lubin. He knocks him out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like and then you fight Tony Harrison, controversial loss, but a both fight. Even if they gave that fight to Charlo, the first one, I became a Tony Harrison fan that fight because it was such a good fight. But they gave it to Harrison. He loses that fight, comes back, gets a knockout, then comes back and knocks Harrison out in a fight where Harrison was clearly winning. You know what I'm saying?
I thought Harrison was up in that fight, dog, but he wasn't. He couldn't have won the fight. Did you see the scorecards? Yeah, he couldn't have won.
But I'm just talking about just from the eyeball test.
Yeah,
but Charlo comes and wins that fight, and it's like, yo. And Charlo didn't lose no steam off of that. He took an L because he fought a competitor that was on his level, and he came back and won it back. And you know, so it's just like, damn, boxing would be in such a better place if they made it happen. And they I just think they're trying to preserve and stretch out their money as long as they can. But it's like, dog, we got to see the fights we really want to see. Dog. I know when the fight is real because everybody I know I love boxing, but they don't really fuck that shit. So, but when they hit me up like, hey, tell me about this fight, you know? So that's when you know it's real. Nobody even in my gym, bro, and I got a gym full of professional boxers, bro. Nobody even in my gym was talking about that shit.
Yeah, Devin Haney and Gary Russell isn't entertaining or good. They go 12 rounds with D-level fighters. They not as good. They boring and don't show us anything but get all the pity.
So Big Chop, I want to address you real quick. And I agree with what you're saying, and I get that. But if they fought somebody where it was a 50-50 fight, they wouldn't just be able to cruise past. You feel me?
Yeah.
If trust me, Tank is quick and he's fast and he's tenacious as fuck. Devin Haney not gonna just be able to dance around Tank like that. At some point, he gonna be in the Lions Den.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Gary Russell, that his fight with Lomachenko was entertaining. That was an entertaining fight, and he lost.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of the point that people are making. Like, a lot of if you're not a knockout artist by nature, like, because if you just a super knockout artist, if you fight a bum, you're gonna knock him out. Like Deontay Wilder with Brazil and shit like that. But if you're a skilled fighter, you're gonna need somebody that brings that tenacity out of you.
Right. And the truest thing is Fred, DB's a little bit under the weather, Mark. I think that Gary Russell should have been the star of PBC at that lower weight class. I just stand on that, man. I think he would have just ran through. I think he would have ran through that division and I think he would have looked good doing it.
And he has some names because the way Abner Morris fight and the way Leo Santa Cruz fights, it would have forced Gary Russell to get in there and dog them niggas out.
Yeah, he would have he would have had a good time with Abner Morris. Oh, he would have had a great time with him. Yeah, no, you actually hit the nail on the head. I think Leo Santa Cruz would have brought the best out of him, you know, his activity and his willingness to engage.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think that they missed an opportunity with Gary Russell. I think PBC missed that opportunity the same way Top Rank missed an opportunity with all their black fighters. You know, they don't they don't market them as they should, you know. But it is what it is, man.
And before we get off, because I do think you said something that people need to let resonate with them. I do think people are still living off of whatever feeling PBC gave us when PBC first started, because it was like, we gonna get these network fights, and bam, Robert Guerrero was still a good name at the time, and the first marquee fight is Keith Thurman and Robert Guerrero. Then you got Sean Porter, Adrian Broner, you know. So I think people are still living off of what PBC stood for when it first started in 2015, but it's just like,
Yeah,
since, you know, that's 6 years,
it's all
bro.
flat. It's all flat, man. It ain't nothing. Just think, Wilder had a rematch clause. Put that in perspective. Wilder had a rematch clause, and it took him 18 months to get back in the ring.
And they've manipulated the fans and the media outlets to be mad at Deontay. Come on, why you ruining the Joshua fight? Like, nigga, I got a rematch clause.
But the fact that it's taking so long, the fact that they
Right.
knew 3 weeks prior, hey, here's what we gonna do, man. You ain't been training. You about to catch COVID a week before the fight. We'll cancel it, and you'll come back on a date where we can promote it with the NFL, and maybe we'll get more people. You know what I mean? Like, it's all a game of charades, man.
All the game, bro.
Yeah, Mark West, I'm sure DB's listening. What up, DB? Hopefully we see you tomorrow night, man. You know, and it is what it is, man. Any final words, man?
Man, you know, hey, shout out to you, Fred, man. Like I said, what I love about you and people like you, man, because I'm that friend. If I see, like, I'm not that friend that's just gonna be like, oh, you know, that's my dude, so I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, you know, I'm a call my niggas out when I see shit I don't like, and I hope they do the same for me. But if we all know we solid, we know it's all in love. You know, you my dog. To all the people out here that rock with me, I fuck with y'all. To all the people out here that don't rock with me, y'all entertain me, because I know you won't say none of that to my face. But you can pull up on me at any time and we can settle that. And with that, it's all love.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. You got to come in once a month, man, and just
Yeah, no, let's do that.
Yeah,
like,
campaign and champagne, especially on a
a,
Sunday because it's a boxing day. Because we
yeah,
get fights on Saturday. Yeah,
I'm in a much better headspace now. So yeah, for sure, let's do it.
yeah, for sure. You got to, man. Yeah, Sundays is our review day. You know, I would open up the phone lines, but I was waiting on BlueBlood, and you know, so. Anyways, it is what it is, man. I appreciate you, man. Love you, man, and I'll see you.
All right, man. We'll talk soon, bro.
All right, for sure. Appreciate you, King. Tyran Brown, y'all. Tyran Brown, man. So y'all can respond to this tomorrow. All right. So we'll have a continuum show. If you guys want to respond to anything that you heard tonight, you please respond tomorrow. If you disagree with either of us, Tyran will be watching tomorrow, and no big deal. And I think Kyle, you going live? Kyle going to review. I'm saying Big Chop. I'm saying they not even smashing the competition that they are fighting. What makes them so good? It's Gary Russell fought his career, Thrash, and Devin Haney in the zone. Yeah, you can argue either way. It's definitely perspective. It's definitely perspective. And this is, I'm gonna tell y'all I'm gonna end the show on this note. All right, let me get the song ready. And I'm gonna end it on this. I knew this day was coming. I knew this day was coming, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they always treat black skilled fighters the same way in boxing. And I knew Gary Russell will be put in a position where he won't be able to get the opponents because he commands a 7-figure payday, and he will definitely destroy. Or if you got to beat him, you got to go to hell to beat him because he's that good. Devin Haney is the same way. And that's why I pulled each of them to the side. And I said, y'all got to make this fight. I don't know how you make the fight, but you got to make this fight because, one, you just engaged the entire boxing population. And two, if you guys do not fight each other and be the king of your division, your career is going to be stalled out because Bob Arum is not going to take a chance on Devin Haney. If Teofimo is selling well or has a potential of selling well, it won't happen. So at the end of the day, I blame both of them. I don't blame Gary. I don't just blame Haney because they know the positions that they that potentially they could have been in. I don't blame one person. I wasn't on here saying this, Gary. If Batman, I love Batman. If Batman was on here, I was challenging Batman. If Mr. Haney was on here, I was challenging them. Just make the fucking fight. You understand? They should have took the risk. They both should have put up $500,000 and took the risk. You know what I mean? And trusted the fans, and then sold the TV rights to the Zone, sold the TV rights to Sky Sports, ESPN, whatever the case may be. You know, even if they would have broke even that fight or made $100,000 each, you set the precedent. You know what I mean? And now look at all these fighters on the shelves. Look, you know, there's 10 fighters. There's 10 fighters under each banner that you can say, damn, you ain't even fought this year yet. And that's the point I want to make, man, that boxing ain't what is led up to be. And I think fans, we got to be our own LLC, you know. But anyways, man, I love y'all, man. Is Kyle coming in? Kyle, you here? You gonna post your link? You gonna post your link, Kyle? You gonna post your link? In the meantime, between time, man, you guys click this link. We're close to 1,700 buys, man. We're close to 1,700 buys. You guys should click this link right here and, you know, go watch 9 Wives. How about y'all do that? And I appreciate you guys in advance, man. And yeah, this was a good show. So please respond to the show tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. And in the meantime, between time, somebody got to say, play the song, Fred. Play the song, Fred. DB, we miss you, man. DB, we miss you. PPD dropped in too for a hot second. Somebody say, play the song. Somebody say, play the song, man. I'm waiting on y'all. Play the song. Play the song. Before I type it myself. Kyle probably. I saw him in here earlier, but he must have popped out and popped in. But Kyle should have a great show tonight because it was an upset in boxing. So play the song. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. Facts, Fred. Yeah. You're right, Champion Heart. I was on both of them. Facts, Fred. These fighters better stop being afraid of a loss and start. I'm telling y'all, Gary Russell and Devin Haney would have put a crack in the business of boxing. You mean to tell me the fans got behind them? Don't you know everybody? I appreciate you, Jordan. Appreciate you, People Hernandez. Tell Errol we love him, man. Get better, man. And yeah, man, get better. Yeah, man. Say, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And don't tell them don't rush back, man. Don't fall to the pressures of media, man. And when you're ready, come back. That's all I'm gonna say, man. When you're ready, come back. And but I'm telling you that Gary Russell Devin Haney fight would have changed the business of boxing, y'all. Would have changed the business of boxing. So, you know what the winner of that fight would have been? The king, the people's champ. That would have been more powerful than the belt. Devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth. Hey. Because the fight would have sold out. Hey. So they would have had a gate. Hey. And just think, if I'm doing 1,000, yeah, win the race. You're exactly right. And if I'm doing, and at that time, I think everybody was doing thousands of people watching every day, just interested in that fight. Now that fight is like Amir Khan and Kell Brook. No one cares anymore. We took too much. We was invested, and now you fuck it. You know what I mean? So, but they'll learn. I don't think Devin Haney's gonna fight again this year. You know, I don't see it. I don't see how. You know, hopefully he does. I want him to fight again this year, but I don't see it. I don't see Tank Davis fighting again this year. I don't see the Charlos fighting again this year. This is my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASIC. You turn to be the greatest, yeah. Bobbing and weaving and changing up like a seasoned indigenous. Al Haymon just spent $40 million on Canelo. If I'm a black fighter and I see Al put $40 million in Canelo, I'm knocking on Al Haymon's house door. That's the person that I am. If I'm Sean Porter and Keith Thurman and I see him invest $40 million in Canelo, why didn't you invest $7 million in our fight? Don't make sense, right? That's what I'm saying. If Gary Russell, why didn't you invest in that in the Leo Santa Cruz Gary Russell fight? You know, Bob ain't putting up no money. So there you go. Because the devil is a lie. Hey, I'm telling you the truth. Hey, Queen 71. Hey, some things you got to do. Hey. Love y'all, man. Go watch Godfather of Harlem. New episode just dropped. I just watched it. It's good. And if you ain't watched that, click the link right here. Click the link and go watch Nine Wives, man. We almost at 1,700 buys, man. I done did more buys than fighters sell merchandise, man. I love y'all, man. Peace, y'all. See y'all tomorrow night, man. Thank you, guys.